Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3, ERX Paris Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Jones may take it to the house.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my no, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
One Razorback. Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story's over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Oh, my goodness. It's Tuesday, June 2nd, 11:01. You know what that means. It's time for 3 hours of halftime.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time today. We get Fisherman Clay Henry from 12 to 2 today. Tomorrow will be a little bit different. How's it going, fellas? Unit, what's up with you, bro?
Living life, man.
Living life. Good. Colton, everything good?
I'm doing good. I think Christian's holding out on us, Matt, because he put quite a bit in here on our rundown about the Mavs moving around, and I think
like
he might
the
be
Magna
a little
Carta
upset.
over here or something. Like,
I'm sorry, it's so full.
Yeah.
We're killing trees over here. I'd rather have more on there than less.
Yeah.
Like a booklet. Yeah.
Well, that's good. We'll get something good. We'll have a fun show today. The question I have: do we have any guests today, or is it us with the good people and Fisherman Clay Henry?
It is us and Clay.
I love it. And 877-377-6963. There we go. That's the number to get in here with us. So how are you guys? Are you feeling good about tomorrow? I don't know there's so much to get into. You know, Billy Richmond coming back. You got the NBA Finals starting tomorrow. You got the World Cup is in the single digits before it's kicking off.
9 days.
Yeah, life's good. There's the sport. Myles Garrett, a first ballot Hall of Famer. So the last first ballot Hall of Famer to get traded was Luka Doncic. You know, he's going to be and Myles Garrett's a first ballot Hall. It doesn't happen much. So when it does happen, you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. So yeah, plenty of stuff to get into. Cover of the EA Sports College football is set, and I know C Football over here gets on the game.
Yeah.
Lacey, Tooney, and more. Man, what a group right there. Miami might be the squad to go to with this year.
Yeah, I did see that release. Also, I saw there was like an alternate version they had where they had Kurt Signetti kind of posted up too, giving his infamous scowl as well. So
how do you not put Mendoza on there?
Well, I think that's how they used to do the college football games. Is the guy that won the Heisman or the number one overall draft pick was typically on the cover of the next year's edition. Because remember, Darren McFadden is on one, and he had gotten drafted by the Raiders as a really high overall draft pick, finished second in the Heisman for the second year in a row. Yes, he won't be in the game. So what they've done now that they have the incorporation of all these new players and everybody that's actually being paid to get in the game is they give those guys a pretty penny to be on there. And like Matt said, it's Kewan Lacey from Old Miss, Tony from Miami, Malachi Tony, I think is his name, and Dante Moore from Oregon as well. So that'll be fun. I don't know if I have 26. And I don't EA and video games. These people, they're grifters.
They kind of run together.
They don't change anything.
They don't
like
change
24
anything.
And then they'll change it in 2031.
Yeah. They run it all together. It's like Matt when you used to play the FIFA games. A lot of those they didn't change year over year. They just you put new new players in there. You do things like that. But yes, that's also a really big one as well. And then like you mentioned, Matt, that huge trade is kind of a blockbuster. And yesterday, I read an incorrect report. I said that it was straight up verse for Garrett, Jared verse for Myles Garrett, which would have just been absolutely stupid on the part of the Cleveland Browns. But they actually probably came out on top of this trade, and it's really hard to say that whenever you're giving away a franchise cornerstone in Myles Garrett. But they're getting a really good young linebacker in Jared Verse and picks in 27, 28, and 29.
Nobody believes in Cleveland, so it's just it's good for Garrett to get you. You want to see like players like Ronnie Lott playing the Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor playing the Super Bowl, like Reggie White. That's how I think Myles Garrett is. You know, I and then the whole thing, if Aaron Donald does come back, I bet he's still decent enough to be okay. You know, like that would be something else. And then
It's very interesting.
everybody's favorite team, the Golden Knights, take on the Carolina Hurricanes in the
Yes.
Stanley. Will you guys watch any? I'll turn it on if nothing else is on and kind of check it out. But out of all the sports, the sport I know the least about is hockey.
Yeah, I'll watch probably some of the Stanley Cup Finals simply because I know that
It's the finals.
it's the pinnacle
Yeah,
of the
it's the
sport,
finals,
and I
yeah.
know that it's Vegas typically fields, or I guess Ice is typically a pretty good team as well. I just think it's so funny that we don't think of hockey as always the most uniquely American sport. It's more we think of our neighbors to the north more when we think of hockey, and they've not had a Stanley Cup final team in a long time. I think maybe they might have broken that streak recently. Maybe if my memory serves me correct, somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But Carolina and Las Vegas are typically not where you figure to be hotbeds of hockey, but that's the way that the NHL shakes out. So
Is there
I'll watch
like
a little bit of that.
premier hockey city? Like when you think of hockey, what city do you
I
think
don't
of?
know,
I
like-
think of Pittsburgh.
You think of Pittsburgh, the Penguins, yeah, New York.
In
I think
America,
maybe that
yeah.
area over there. Colorado and Dallas were so good when I was like in high school. Patrick Wall, was it Mondo? Was the goalkeeper for Dallas? So like those two teams growing up, those were the best. And then I went to one game. I saw the Nashville Predators play the Montreal Canadiens. And you could definitely, when they were warming up, you could see the difference. And I think Nashville might even win the game, but you could see how the Montreal Canadiens, how they took the game was definitely a little bit different.
Yeah, hockey, it's one of those things I feel like you have to get in like at the beginning. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love it. I think it's one of the best things in the world that's one of the only sports where they can have players have sanctioned fights on the field of play. That is one of the best parts of it. Because, I mean, wouldn't it be great sometimes if you could have seen, Shaq square up with one of those guys that was hacking him back in the day or something like that? It would have led to whoever that might have been's demise ultimately, but in hockey, at least they give him shoulder pads. But I'll probably tune in for a little bit of that just because of the fact that it is the finals, and I like to be informed on everything. And also, when it's super high level like that, it is really enjoyable to watch. I have a hard time keeping up with the puck most of the time when I'm watching hockey anyway, because it's all happening so fast. And those guys are legit athletes because they are doing all that stuff on skates at 30 miles an hour with their hands and the hand-eye coordination. It is
And
far
it's a
above
sprint.
what I can do. Yeah.
So one of the things I learned that I didn't understand about hockey when I was younger, because they shift change, they do it, but it's like 90 seconds sprint, come back, sit down, 90 seconds sprint. It's definitely a little bit different than other sports.
Andy in Mountain Home here texting in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline says it's hands down the best live sport to watch. And I'm sure that if I actually got to go to a hockey game, I know my wife's wanted to take me to some Dallas Stars games. She used to go to those all the time back when she was running around the DFW in her youth. And she said that it's also one of the more fun sports to watch live, not because of just, the fighting and everything like that, but it's so action packed. There's not a lot of, stoppage in play, and it's very enjoyable to watch in person. And also hockey fans tend to get a little bit rowdy as
The
well.
Stars and Mavericks are kind of fighting over that. Well, they were
Big Steve.
fighting over the American Airlines, but it looks like they're both going to leave.
Yeah, what's the deal with that down there? Because I think is like the entire city of Dallas going to have like 5 teams that call themselves the Dallas Stars or the Texas Rangers, and none of them actually play in Dallas
Yeah,
anymore.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like, well, I know they have concerts in the American Airlines Center because I've been to a couple, but
I've been to one there, yeah.
I don't know. I think to me, it might just be a wasteland down there with Dirk's statue sitting down there.
All by itself.
Unless they move it. I mean, I would hate to see his statue just sitting down there, but I mean, they did win it in that building, so.
Yeah, so they're trying to move out everybody from down there. I guess that's kind of odd. I've always thought that teams should try their best to play in the city in which they put their
Tax purposes.
have their name on
That's
it, but
just
tax
the whole
purposes.
thing.
That's why the Giants playing, the Giants and the
Jersey,
Jets
yeah.
played in Jersey for a while. It's all, and obviously, you get a little bit of a tax break playing out there in Arlington as opposed to right smack dab in the middle of Dallas, and that's, Jerry Jones's prerogative on that. But yeah, the Mavs and the Stars both vacating down there in Dallas. That's got to be very upsetting.
Okay, I love it. Who is, and we'll have time tomorrow to talk about this as well, but I want to get fan appreciation. I need the fans. I need the listeners to let us know as well. But who is your MVP of the NBA Finals this year? That's the question I have for you guys. That's the question I have for the listeners. Is it Jalen Brunson and is it Wemby? And is that the only two options? If I said, hey, I'll give you Jalen Brunson and Wemby against the field, who are you taking? Who? And maybe that's the question, Colton.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's who other than, because I think Karl-Anthony Towns, if the Knicks win it, it could be him. But who other than Wemby or Brunson do you see being an MVP? Stephen Castle, maybe? Like, give me a reason. Give me something that you're like, hey, this is why this team's going to win. This is going to be the MVP, because I think if the Knicks wins, Brunson's going to be the MVP, and I think if the Spurs wins, Wemby's going to be the MVP.
Yeah, like you said, if I had to choose the field or Wemby or Brunson to walk away with the MVP after all is said and done, depending on who wins the finals, I'd probably choose Wemby and Brunson just because both of those teams basically run everything through those guys. But if I had to pick an off-the-wall player for both teams, I'd probably say that, yes, Karl-Anthony Towns maybe could get a nod there as well, depending on how well he's able to go back and forth with Wemby down there in the paint, down low. But also, one can't, you may have to give a nod to OG Anunoby, because he's going to draw the challenge of having to guard Wemby.
Iguodala won it because defensive wise, if he can stop somebody and do some things.
A little bit of that, stop somebody as well as pour in some points as well and grab lots of boards and make all those hustle plays that Anunoby does. And for San Antonio, yes, you could maybe say one of the two young guards in Castle and Harper if they go out there and have a really good series. But another one I'd keep my eye on that I hope the Knicks are preparing for very, very well is you can't let Champagne shoot anything at all. I mean, you have to get two hands in his face, verticality, always close out on that guy, because if he gets hot, I can see his shooting taking over at least one or two games in this series.
And then we got Troy versus UALR in the college.
Which Trojan do you trust?
Yeah, it's tough. Actually, there's only 3 Division I baseball teams that have a mascot named the Trojans. That's USC, UALR, and Troy.
Are they all in it?
All of them are going to be in the Super Regionals. Yeah, it's the year of the Trojan. Just be careful with that.
Well, I'll give you the Trojans or the field. Who you take?
Yeah. I'll probably take the field against those 3. Yeah. I think the Cinderella story for both of those Trojans will end pretty quickly over there in Omaha. But lots of exciting things happening in the NCAA baseball tournament, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And then one of my favorite segments that we've been doing since this whole thing got started is our halftime hypothetical. I think we're going to wait till Fisherman Clay Henry. We're going to do it with him. So we'll do it in the second or third hour coming up.
So he can change the rules. Yeah.
I love it. That means he cares.
That's
if
right.
He didn't change the rules, he wouldn't care.
That's right.
So I love it. And then whatever you guys want to talk about, feel free to call us. We got a phone call. You want to take one in the first hour? We want to go to a break and
It's Cecil. He's giving us the call. Cecil's here. Cecil, good afternoon. Matt Jones, Colton Little here. Cecil, but you know that. What's on your mind, brother?
What's up, really, y'all should have waited because I got a lot to talk about.
Let's go to a break, Cecil.
Cecil, we'll put you on hold.
From A to Z, man. I'll hang on.
Okay,
we'll put you on hold.
3 minutes. We'll be right back. Cecil's my guy, man. I love Cecil. So we'll get.
If he says he wants to go on hold, we're going to put him on hold.
Let's go.
And before we get out of here, real quick, I want to remind you we're brought to you today by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Got the best Tex-Mex and even better service right over there at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith every single day. Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsa, queso, and guacamole. Add the crispy warm chips to start your meal. Plus, they have the usuals, and it's not just the usual stuff. It's better than usual with fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more. Going to make your experience one that you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better flavor and even better service over at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, right across from Harps.
All right, we're going to go pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong.
You know your business. I know the fans. Together, we're a championship roster. In Arkansas, loyalty is everything, and nobody connects with the Razorback faithful like our team here at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. When you partner with us at ESPN Arkansas, you're not just buying airtime. You're gaining trusted voices that talk to your customers every single day. I'm Ty Richardson. Let's grow your business together, both on air and through digital avenues. Become a partner at ESPN Arkansas. Email ty.richardson@HitThatLine.com to start your campaign today.
Looking for your new favorite meal? Well, get ready to dig in at Blue Ember Smokehouse because we just dropped something big. Introducing our brand new Hog Trough Fries. We're talking crispy fries piled high with your choice of our slow smoked meats, topped with queso, shredded cheese, sour cream, and chives. It's bold, it's loaded, and it's built to satisfy. Come try the Hog Trough Fries today, but fair warning, you might not want to share. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
At the toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, the savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Behind
Disappointment is a part of sports. As they say, you can't win them all. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. From both personal and professional experience, I know that the road to victory is not always a straight line. If you have found yourself in a rebuilding year, your spouse has entered the transfer portal, you've been benched by an arrest, or you're on the IR from a car wreck, I'm here to help. Custody, criminal, car wrecks. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Hey, it's Derek Ruskin. I enjoy stretchy pants because it makes my life more comfortable. Well, the Crane Automotive team sort of feels the same way, but about your dollar. With prices at the pump, interest rates, and everything else, we focus on making your life more affordable. Our vehicles have the highest rated fuel economy and safety features for every lifestyle and budget. Come get yours at one of our 17 statewide locations or go to craneteam.com today. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive team.
Hey, it's Phil Carr with Shangri-La Resort. Some things get better with time. For 70 years, Shangri-La Resort has been the backdrop for your favorite memories. On July 3rd, we're going to celebrate all these years on Lake Ouachita. Whether you're here for the world-class fishing, the delicious cafe, or just a quiet morning on the water, join us as we celebrate 7 decades of excellence. Visit us at ShangriLaResortAR.net or call 870-867-2011. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tune into June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas year strong. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Oh my goodness. You know, I look at some of this rundown stuff, but I can't keep up with everybody. Back Christian Johnson on the on the board. Colton Little with us, and I was like, hey, well, let's do some Bowie. I was gonna go Shooting Star. There's a couple songs I was gonna go with, and then C45 the way. I mean, that's why his name is 45 because he likes music. 50 Ken Norton. Who'd you say? Butkus?
Yeah, Dick Butkus. You can go baseball route. You can go Randy Johnson
Randy
or Ichiro Suzuki at 51
I
as
didn't
well.
know Ichiro was 51.
Fame
Yeah.
by David Bowie right there came out 51 years ago on this very date.
Well, you know when you have passion about something, it shows, and I love the fact that on this show we have passion about music.
We sure do.
And I think it shows. And another guy that has a lot of passion that I'm a big-time fan of is Cecil. Cecil, what's up, man? NBA NBA Finals Eve.
Hey, guys. Yes. I really don't know where to start, so I'm gonna start with Oklahoma City. Then I'm gonna go to the finals. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
If we had Chet Holmgren, you would have said bench him and get him off the court.
Okay,
I'm
here
joking.
we go.
I'm joking.
Okay. Chet is up for 140 million. Chet is not worth. He's not worth 140 million.
I agree
fellas.
with you.
He's not worth it. He weighs 212. He weighed 212 soaking wet. The dude is not. Jalen Williams played better than Chet. As a matter of fact, when we played them in the NCAA, Jalen outplayed Chet. If y'all remember that. Okay. Jalen is getting paid $24 million. It's not a big thing because he signed for it right now. But they trying to limit it. Jalen Menace and Isaiah Menace. Isaiah didn't even play. I don't know why because he's a sniper. That would have took some pressure off of us trying to work a shot in. But he put him in for a little bit, then he took him out. Oklahoma City, this is where when you lose in the finals like this, in the Western Finals, you cannot come back with the same team. It's no way because you ain't going to win. You didn't win with those results. It's going to be the same results. Okay, so I'm going to tell you who got to go. Chet got to go. He got to go. Okay, if you're going to give Chet 140 million, why not give it to Giannis? Why not give Giannis 200 million? You're going to win with Giannis. That's a fact. Okay? And then the other Jalen Williams, not our Jalen Williams, he too injury prone. He been getting hurt. And then the coach got to go because he can't coach. He don't even know how to do the rotation. He put Jalen Williams in the game for 10 minutes and he got 1 point. That's like playing 6 against 5 because Wemby, when you got 5 in there, you playing 6 because Wemby, you got to have 5 or 6 steps on him to get a layup in or a dunk. He gonna go get it. So you're gonna have to make some changes. That's just the way it is. And Pressy know what he doing now. He know what he doing. He's a clever man. And we got all these we got like 19 first-round draft picks, 14 second-round draft picks. They can make it happen. But the thing about it, a lot of people don't know that the reason why Jalen didn't play much last year, which when he got those 2 triple-doubles, he got 2 triple-doubles back-to-back, and he was holding Joker. He had Joker in his pocket. Then all of a sudden, you don't see him play. But, okay, he had 1 more year coming up on his contract. So what Pressy did, Pressy froze his playing time so his numbers don't go up. Because in the NBA, they look at the paperwork. They actually watch you on TV, too. But they look at paperwork as fast as it look that way. What is he scoring? Okay, he ain't doing that much. That's how he got all these players because Oklahoma City's they only worth 480. Well, the owner's 480 million, and the team is worth. I forget. Well, anyway, it's a low market, so they have to limit the players' playing time. That's why you don't see Jalen. Okay, when Jalen signed after he signed the 24 million after they won the championship, he got froze out after the Denver series. Then they won the championship. Then Jalen basically been starting. He signed a 4-year, $24 million contract. Then he started playing again. That's the only way Pressy can keep him. But he's a clever guy though. But Chet got to go. He's not worth 100. If they give that man 140 million, Oklahoma City done. They ain't gonna win no games with him. He's too light in the butt, man. And then he gets intimidated. He's not a dog.
Well, he's your third. Here's what I would say, Cecil. I would agree with everything you're saying. First of all, I agree with just about everything you're saying right there about Chet. But here's what I would argue with you. He's not supposed to be the second best. He's supposed to be the third best player on the team. And so when he's asked to, he can't. He's not able to be the second or the first best player. And so that's what you're paying for if that's a third best player. But Chet's decent, but you're right. He's a little soft. He can kind of get bullied away. Little Trevian Brazil type stuff. Kind of you put your elbow in his back and he kind of folds like a cheap lawn chair. I get that. But he's not – I don't know how much he's worth, but you got to pay him like he's your third best player. Because when Jalen Williams were out, we had that conversation. We're like, well, who's the second best player on the team? Is it Chet? And then that wasn't it.
Okay, I feel you on that. But
talk to me about the Knicks. Let's break this Knicks
Okay, here
down.
we go.
Knicks and Spurs.
Here
Who
we go,
do
here we
you
go.
got and why?
Okay, well, Bronson is something very, very special to be his height, man. The man is awesome. His numbers been like, I know because I bet every day on the bet now. And his numbers, actually, a couple of games, it kind of made me feel like they were shaving points because that man had 9 points in the first half, and then he didn't score any more until the fourth quarter. And Cat did that too, but he's awesome. So just like you said, man, if New York win, Bronson's gonna get it. If San Antonio win, Wemby's gonna get it.
I think so.
Wemby, they love Wemby. Wemby is basically the face of the NBA right now. I can't just give it to him like that, though.
He's
top
top five. I think
in.
if he wins the championship, yeah, and then you got the pick coming in 2028. I've already picked France to win the gold medal in LA.
Right.
But I think that Joe. What do you think that if I was to say you get the Joe, and I don't mean for the next 10 years, but if it was like for next year, if I said you could have the Joker out in Denver or you could have Wemby in San Antonio, who you taking?
Oh, Wemby, no diggity, no doubt.
Yeah.
Wemby, hey, he runs out of. Hey, the dude's gonna be bad, man. Give him when he gets to his fifth season, he gonna be so great. He gonna be so. But they got a couple of more guys coming in that's about his height too, though. So everybody's saying it'll never be somebody like Wemby again. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. But New York is my third best team, man. And Cat and them, they ready, man. I'm riding with New York, though.
I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think Cat.
Who you riding with, Matt?
I think Cat is the he's the X factor because I agree with you. I think Jalen Brunson or Wemby, whichever team wins it. Let me answer. Let me pause. In Spurs when it initially started to happen, and then this morning when I got up, I started thinking about the New York Knickerbockers. I'm not even lying to you. I think if he does his thing, they can do it. Because he's the matchup nightmare, And then you got OG1 Kenobi, you got Josh Hart, you got other guys that know. The thing too is everybody on the New York Knicks, they know exactly their role's been identified. They know exactly who they are.
Yeah, Matt, I'm with you on that. Cecil, appreciate the call. If you want to get with us here, you can as well. 877-377-6963. Lots of insight right there on the NBA. And just to touch on some of the stuff he was mentioning about Oklahoma City and the Thunder, I know that if I had to, if Chet Holmgren were up there on the block and I was making decisions as a general manager, I think you said about him not being the second best player on that team, and they're not asking him to be.
They're not. But Jalen Williams got hurt, and so then it had to kind of he's their third. Yeah.
Somebody has to step up, and he's not the type of guy that's going to. I think what Cecil said about there's no dog in him. He's not like an attack type of guy.
But that's half the league, though.
You're exactly right.
That's a lot of the NBA. They're a little soft. They kind of have a skill set. They're a little finesse, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just. Defense wins championships, physicality wins championships, toughness, and he doesn't have a little bit of that. So it's okay if that's your third best player. But then when it's if you're trying to ask him to be the A player or the B player and he's soft, then you can't beat anybody once it gets down.
Yeah, you have to step up and kind of change your level of play and your attitude whenever you're being asked to do more. And Chet's the type of guy, he comes from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and he doesn't necessarily
played at Gonzaga.
Played at Gonzaga. lots of culture influences there that I don't think Chet exactly really knows who he is and is trying to figure all that out all at the same time while getting better and trying to get paid in the NBA. But I think it's a stretch to say that Oklahoma is going to get rid of him. I feel like he's a big part of their plans there. And now after what we saw in the finals, he may become a diminished part of that. They may try to get somebody else in there to, help him out a little bit, play a Batman to his Robin in a way, even though they already have, Batman and SGA. They don't need too much to try and cover up for Chet. But I wouldn't be too worried if I was an OKC fan because Chet's also played a lot of basketball. He's been a high-level player wherever he's gone. When he was in college, he came out.
He's I like him. Yeah, no, I like Chet.
He got better. And I will say, Matt, I know that you like to, keep good track of your health and make sure that you're in tip-top shape, but the more you talk about the series, the more I see you start to sweat, and I think you might have a little bit of Knicks fever. I think you might have a little bit of Knicks fever.
I wonder how that first game's going to go. I really do. That first game might be key.
I think the Spurs may be a little tired.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, 4 days. You got to think though. They're 25 years old. They're the best athletes in the world. You get 4 days off. I don't think they're going to be tired yet. And then it's a Wednesday, Friday. You get an extra day of rest. They're going to be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be fine. But yeah, is it easy? No, it's not easy. And Christian, you might be on. There might be some guys that are banged up or something's happened, like the residual effects of war type thing. But it's not like they're. I think both teams will be healthy and both teams that have plenty of energy.
I think there'll be more of a mental hurdle for San Antonio to get over after playing so many 7-game series than there is an actual physical one. Like Matt said, they've got plenty of days to rest, and they should be able to come back pretty strong with that. Hey, speaking of coming back strong, if you have some things that you want to keep out of your yard or maybe in your yard, you can give us a call to the Fence Man. They build the strongest around. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. They've been serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. The Fence Man builds one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high-security fences. And if you need automatic gates, the Fence Man does that as well. If you need financing, you've got it. They have 18-month financing available, and you can get your free quote today. That's right, a free quote with the Fence Man. Visit thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
He's not, and neither are we. We're going to keep on working right on along. And if you guys want to get in with us, it's one of our favorite parts when we have listeners call and chat about what's going on in the sports world, chat about what's going on, and like the Tuna calls. And sometimes he just got back from the dentist. Maybe there's a cool show you're watching. But give us a shout, 877-377-6963.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
See, the ladies are insane there, and they sure know how to use it. They don't abuse it, they're gonna use it. I can't refuse it.
Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime? Of course you do. Our Halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. During the month of May, they're looking for 30 homes to participate in their Spring into Savings event. 30 homeowners will receive 50% off installation of a new bathtub or shower. Make sure to ask about 0% interest financing options with their senior and military discounts. You can receive a $200 gas card with a bathtub or shower purchase and a free $50 Walmart gift card with a free in-home estimate. Now let's get back to Halftime with Arkansas football legend Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right. That was a little tribute to the team I got winning the World Cup this year. That's the Spanish. I got Spain winning it. I don't know who you guys got, but they have the best midfield in the tournament, so I'm going to go with them. And they have the best teenager in the tournament, so I'll go with them. There's a lot of good winners. France could win it. Germany always. Brazil can win. I mean, there's a handful. It's about, I think the World Cup's been won by the same 6 teams in the last 50 years, so take one of those 6 teams and don't look back. Christian Johnston on the board, Colton Little with us as well. Fisherman Clay Henry coming up at noon for a couple hours. And did I hear this? Fisherman Clay's going to see a Cubbies game?
Yeah, he texted us this morning and let us know that he was going to be we may have to catch him on the phone for a little bit of tomorrow's show because he's traveling. He told us last week he's going to Chicago. He's watching some soccer game. I forget which one it is. And then he's going Germany and somebody in an international friendly, I guess. Team's getting tuned up here before the World Cup kicks off in 9 days. And he was doing that.
I used to think nobody had it better than me. Fisherman Clay might have it a little better than me, man.
Well,
the people might have it as equal as me. Nobody has it better than I do, but Fisherman Clay might have it a little better than I do.
Clay's got it. Clay's got it made, that's for sure. And if we can I mean, he'll come on with us at 12 o'clock here, and by 12:15, he'll have name dropped about 5 or 6 people. So he's got that going for him, too. So looking forward to hearing what he has to say. And, yeah, he'll be up there in Cubby Land up there. I know Big C likes to get up there as often as he can, watch those Cubs. And they're pretty good this year. The National League Central is like one of the best divisions in all of Major League Baseball right now. So lots of teams neck and neck, and they're trying to vie for supremacy in that division. So whatever game I'm sure Clay's going to be watching up there, it'll be really fun. I've always wanted to see a game at Wrigley. Christian, have you been to Wrigley Field to see a game?
Funny enough, the last time was the Giants. I believe it was in 15 or 16 when the Cubs played the Giants. But yeah.
Also, you were there the year they won the World Series. They ended up. Was that
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think
you're a good luck charm. Maybe you need to go back.
Maybe so. Yeah, Clay's going to get to see Tony V coach.
I could see Christian being a bleacher creature out there somewhere at one of those sporting events like the Cubs out there. I know the big thing now is tarps off. Big C, would you be willing to go out there amongst the fans out there in Wrigley Field with your tarp off and just 5 or 6 beers, contribute to that beer snake?
You got to take old
some
style
weight first, but yeah, I could.
No. Take that. Just go for it.
I did run into Ron Santo on the concourse.
That's cool.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and he was in his wheelchair, and I got a picture and I think an autograph from him. So
that's cool. That's so cool. I remember some of the autographs that I got when I was a kid. I have them still proudly displayed, all in a big collection in a little scrapbook in my house. There's some good ones in there. They may be worth a little bit of money, but they mean more to me, with sentimental value and everything. So, Matt, there's some pretty big basketball stories here regarding the Razorback basketball team that have come out here over the past couple of days. One of them that's just kind of funny to me. I think this is more of like a favor being done amongst agents and coaches. You know that guy we had buried at the end of the bench that would come in at garbage time and grab a minute or two there, and everyone was like, "Hey, that guy, he fits the bill for your typical, your prototypical
Wait
big,
till next year.
huge." Yeah, Matt, you know where he ended up in the transfer portal. You know where he's going to end up playing basketball next year? Storrs, Connecticut. For Dan Hurley and UConn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of an odd thing. So Elmer Joffich going to end up at UConn, and I know I heard Otis Kirk this morning with Chuck and Bo talking about how it may end up being a favor because Joffich has a pretty high profile agent over there that's been really instrumental in getting a lot of European talent.
Play it all here, and he's going to UConn.
Yeah, that was the initial reaction that I had as well. Was this kid was more or less a body for practice for these guys and more of a project player, and then he's ending up in the home of a team that's won 2 national championships here in the last several years. So that's a very interesting thing. But the bigger news, Matt, I don't know if you saw this. Arkansas and Arizona now going to have I
did see that.
A little series coming up. What do you think about the matchup with the Wildcats? That's 2 storied programs and one that you'd like to get a little get back with after the end of last year.
I like Zona's Coy Pete that's in the lead.
Yeah,
I like him. That's one of those guys where you're like, I wish he would have came back. Kind of like a Malik Thomas. He's a little undersized, but I think he's a nice piece for the next level. Here's the thing that when you have you're in such a tough conference, but everybody in the SEC kind of plays the same way. You're used to it. It's physical. It's grinding. You go play a team like UConn. You go play a team like Arizona. Arizona's going to be more of a West Coast field. You go play a team like Michigan. It's more of a Big Ten field. So what I'm getting at is styles make fights. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that you're playing a high-level team out of another conference and kind of seeing how they go about it because, the SECs, you kind of know who you are. You're familiar. You play these teams every year, the same coaches, and you're trying to beat the teams in your conference more than you're trying to beat teams out of conference. So it's a good litmus test to figure out, hey, this is the type of team you're going to have to beat when you get in the NCAA tournament.
And speaking of the NCAA tournament, you remember last year the Razorbacks, they played every single team that was in the Elite Eight in the prior year in Cal's first year. They played them all last year. And you speak about that litmus test. When we played those teams this year, games at Michigan State, games against Duke, games against Texas Tech, games against Houston, you came out, on the losing side of 3 out of those 4, major battles, and the rest of whom you were going to see in your conference slate, and you fared a little bit better there at times. But at the end of the day, Florida still got the best of you. You ended up beating Tennessee. But like you said, Matt, throughout all of those matchups with the Elite Eight teams from the year prior, you were able to kind of get a picture of where the Razorbacks would fit into the March Madness tournament kind of at the end. And what we saw was, look, really high, powerful, extremely, high caliber, very powerful and very enjoyable to watch guard play, but barbecue chicken inside. And so that's kind of what we thought going into the tournament. We thought that might be a demise, and that's what we took away from all those big-time matchups early on in the season. And now like you said, Arizona gets back Koa Pete, who gave you plenty of fits.
He's jumping in the NBA.
Is he?
I was saying I want him.
Yeah.
I would want him to come. He left.
But Arizona's going to have somebody like him, similar to him.
Yep.
So another great big player they're able to recruit like that. And so you'll be able to once again see how you stack up with everybody else. This is a really good thing. And, they're not only going to be playing a home and away series. They're going to play, obviously, starting in Phoenix at the Phoenix Suns Arena first. Then they're going to do it back and forth where they go to Bud Walton the next year. And then they'll go to Tucson to play the Wildcats at home. And then there'll be another neutral site game as well. So they do have to kind of balance this out a little bit when you are going to play a bunch of these marquee matchups. You'd love for a bunch of them to be, or I guess an equal amount to be at Bud Walton too. You don't want there to be a whole bunch of high-profile games that you can't get 20,000 fans to.
So I'll agree with you with this, Colton. You're exactly right. As a fan, 100%, you want all the games at Bud Walton.
Mm-hmm.
As a player and as a coach, you want to go play them somewhere else.
You want to play in an NBA arena.
You want to go play because when you get to the NCAA tournament, it's going to be 50-50. Well, our fans usually travel more, so it'll be more than that. But you got to get you want to get somewhere that's not as comfortable, and that's all I'm saying. Yeah, is it nice to play these games at home? Absolutely. Man, I think they learned just as much going up to East Lansing playing Michigan State last year as they did in any game.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of learned about your toughness and that. So yeah, but I agree. As a fan, please bring them to Bud Walton so I can go to the game. But as a coach and a player, hey, let's go play them somewhere else where we don't just kind of have that home crowd. Because whenever Coach Cal got here, I made this proclamation. I don't know if it's true or not, but I said when Coach Cal leaves, he'll have the best home winning percentage of any coach. Now I don't know what the certain number of games he has to get to, 100 games, 200 games, but they'll get it going. He's not going to lose a lot of games up there at home. It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that I would love to see a bunch of these high-profile games come up here to Bud Walton as well, because you really didn't have as many as you would have liked to last year. And I think that you had a couple of teams coming here that ended up being better than you thought for some ranked matchups. But Matt, you're also right. These guys, they know what it's like to play in Bud Walton. Some of them do. Some of them know what it's like to play, in a home environment and in an away environment. But when you have it in an NBA arena with all the extra glitz and glamour and, more spots for all the TV cameras, a little bit better coverage, they're going to have one of the more high-profile broadcast crews on the game calling it for you. So you'll know that all the stars will be out to watch that game against Arkansas and Arizona. And it's a good thing that they've got this scheduled out for multiple years, too. So that's always a good thing to have on your schedule, knowing that that's locked up as well. But, yeah, that was one of the big basketball stories coming up, and we're really just trying to put off talking about football for at least a couple of weeks because we know that's going to be
I don't think we should talk
one.
about football until they win a conference game. I know we have a sports show. What's there to talk about, though? My mama said if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything
That's
at all.
right.
There's nothing nice to say about this football team. When's the last time they've done something where you're like, yeah, that was cool? They don't.
Hey.
They went 0-8 last year. Win a game and we'll talk about you.
According to their special teams coordinator, whose motto is balls deep, they went balls deep to get a 5-star and a 4-star punter.
That's your boy Dodgeball.
Yeah,
that's how they go.
Absolutely
Go
right.
balls deep.
Yeah,
That tells you all you need to
dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yeah, those are the 5 Ds.
Patches O'Houlihan taught me that one. Yeah, if you can
I
dodge
like
a wrench,
it, and
you
it's
can,
sterile.
You can dodge a ball. Yeah, that's I don't drink it because of the flavor. Yeah, Patches O'Houlihan, there, the legend himself, man. But with talking about that basketball team, that was just a couple of those stories that I did want to touch on, as well as the fact that Kentucky, they finally got one, boys. They finally did get somebody in Milan Mobsilovic. He was Iowa State's sharpshooter last year.
Or something.
Yeah, paying him just an exorbitant amount of money as well. So you know that Kentucky's still trying to stay relevant in the college basketball world, but the more they have that cringy cornball coach over there, I'm sure they're going to slip farther and further away from that.
Did you see the picture he posted? Mark Pope posted like on the beach.
I did not.
With a bunch of like fruit and sunglasses.
Pina coladas, yeah.
Like he just landed the best player ever. But
well, the kid's going to be really good. But I mean, I know there's been a lot to talk about. Whether or not you take Kentucky's roster or Arkansas's roster. Maybe we can do that with Clay here coming up in just a little bit here on halftime because he's going to join us in just a little while. But we're going to take a quick break, real quick. Before we go, I want to let you know that we're brought to you today by Matchstick Studios and Modular Orange. If you run a small business and don't have that professional website yet, maybe you're tired of messing with the DIY website builders, those things are a headache. You need to check out Modular Orange. They're based right there in Fayetteville, right here in Fayetteville, and build websites for business owners all across Arkansas. The best part, they'll write, design, build, and maintain your website for just $95 a month, no upfront cost or design fees. So instead of sitting at your computer, fighting with website software, or trying to do it through Facebook, you can focus on serving customers and growing your business. With the rise of AI search engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and all those, Modular Orange can help make sure your business actually shows up when people are looking for your business online. To get started, give them a call today at 479-755-3043. That's 479-755-3043. Or you can visit modularorange.com today. Today in Review, coming up next after this.
Oh, I like it. One of my other favorite segments. All right, we'll be back after this.
I'm tired of saying could have, should have, would have. That's why we ain't good enough yet. Because we're saying could have and they ain't.
This is halftime.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000.
Graduate to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned ride and get more for your trade at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car, even if you still owe money on it. Make the switch to a Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned and get up to $2,000 over appraised value for your trade. With our non-commissioned sales team, painless pricing, and some of the best lenders around, Rath is here to make finding your next car, truck, or SUV easy. Don't settle for the same old car buying experience. Get up to $2,000 extra for your old ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
In a contracting business, either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Memorial Day deals are at the Home Depot, which means one thing. It's go time. So kick off your planting projects and fill your space with colorful blooms that will thrive in your area. Then protect your flower beds with savings on mulch. On special buy, 4 bags for $10. This Memorial Day, get your backyard ready for summer with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and Arkansas for 80 years strong. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, back halftime. Christian Johnson on the board, Colton Little with us as well. And as we're going to start this day in sports, or this day in history, I do want to say I watched Below Deck finale. Anybody who watches Below Deck, it's amazing. It's like being in 11th grade and you're at the high school cafeteria lunch table. It's just the environment that they set up for themselves. They got it right with that show. Andy Cohen turned 58 today.
Below Deck. It's like 11th grade in high school, just on a 80-foot yacht, $400 million yacht.
Rum.
Yeah, with rum, lots and lots of rum. All right, it's time for our Today in Review. We do it every single day right here on Halftime. Birthdays, historical events, and national days that you should know about. Today's famous birthdays: Church Lady, 1955. Dana Carvey, born today. He's 71. That's a Larry Allen. That's just fantastic, isn't it? And also, 1961, Kurt Signetti, born today. In 1961, he turned 65. I racked my brain trying to think of a famous 65, and I legitimately I couldn't find it. Some offensive lineman somewhere, or a hockey player.
Maybe Dan Doty. I think one of my former players was 65. I'll have to ask him.
Historical events on this day in 1835. P.T. Barnum and his circus began the first tour of the U.S. Christian, you're doing a great job with this, as you always have on Halftime. But if you continue to do poorly, we're going to ship you off to work for the circus. Some famous radio things today. Alexander Graham Bell made the first audio transmission, and then 21 years later in 1896, Guglielmo Marconi applied for the first patent of telegraphy, which is, telegraphy, or the transmission of things along telephone waves. So that helped us with the radio. 1935, the Great Bambino announced his retirement. As Matt played earlier, Fame by David Bowie released today in the U.S. in 1975.
I'll reject you first.
1987, Mariners draft Ken Griffey Jr. #1 overall today. 1989, Oh Captain, My Captain, Dead Poets Society released in U.S. theaters. And in 2004, Ken Jennings began his record-breaking 74-game winning streak on Jeopardy.
Everybody, your best WAP. No, nobody. Dead Poets Society. No. All right. Well, that was cool, man. Thank you so much. We'll come back, and we got Fisherman Clay Henry coming up at the top of the hour.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes set a high standard for luxury. With the iconic $5 box, the decadent $7 box, or the extravagant $9 box. And when you experience the opulence of crunching into the grilled cheese tortilla shell of the shredded beef dippy taco in the $9 box, you may even let the Lutz go to your head. Get your $5, $7, or $9 Lutz box today, only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezers and specialty drinks not included. Tax extra.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We'll see a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. An overnight low will dip down close to 60. Wednesday, back to sunshine. A high upper 70s to low 80s. And then Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. A high near 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's a respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my no, let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Man, that first hour felt like 59 minutes. It was that was cool. Back halftime here, myself, Christian Johnson on the board, Colton Little with us as well, and we're joined by the one and only, my favorite, Fisherman Clay Henry. Clay, how's it going, man? What have you been up to since the last time we talked to you?
Did a little fishing,
Little
golf,
fishing, yeah.
watched a lot of baseball.
I used to think nobody had it better than me. People might have it as good at Clay. You might have it better than me, man. You got it going on.
Well, you know, it's not a race.
It is called the human race, but I agree with you.
We're not racing.
I know. I
like,
was just
here's
a
the
little
thing.
jealous, though. You said
No.
you're going to go to Wrigley. I was a little jealous.
I do a little Bleacher and Wrigley action, haven't ever, you know, I have access to some other tickets, but everybody says, man, if you want the Wrigley experience, you do the bleachers.
Yep.
So, Sarah and I were like, okay, and we're that'll be Friday afternoon. Cubs and the Giants. Tony Vitello's bunch is kind of struggling. They gave up 16 yesterday. I think they scored 19 the day before in Colorado, and I think both of those games were finished with position players pitching. You know, just trying to save arms. You know, and I noticed that James McCann has pitched 4 times already, and he's a catcher.
That's not a recipe for winning.
Well,
that's
I mean,
not
that's
going
like,
to
no.
I think it's called pulling out the white flag.
One of my favorite, my pops is my hero, and he always says some funny stuff. But one of my favorite things, I'm telling this story because you know who Clark Moore is, and
Just saw Clark at the Burlesworth camp Friday.
Nice.
Hugged his neck. Yeah.
He was the best catcher that I grew up with. You know, like he was always the all-star team catcher. He could have played catcher for the Hogs. Like he was really good at it. And there was a game, and I guess I might have been pitching, but somebody stole second, and Clark threw it over the second baseman's head. And then like about 2 innings later, somebody stole second, and Clark threw it over the second baseman's head. And we get done with the game, and you know David Moore, and we were all kind of buddies after the game. We hang out, and he goes, "Clark, man, that was really good today, man. Nobody stole center field on you."
I thought you were going to say that we going to get the center fielder to play in.
Oh man. Well, what's your thoughts, Clay? Will you watch any more of the the super regionals. You know, we got a team in Arkansas that made it. What's kind of your thoughts on who's the best team left? Who's going to win it? We had a couple upsets.
Yeah, I think it's wide open. Anybody that can handicap what this is might be insane. But yeah, it's I can say one thing. I believe the ACC, North Carolina is still one of the national seeds left, and that's probably who everybody will say. But when everybody around them, bows out, Auburn didn't have a good start, but they had a good finish. They've really got a deeper pitching staff than about anybody that I see left. Of course, Chris Curry is a good friend of mine. He grew up in Conway. He made it AAA with the Giants and then was a volunteer coach for Van Horn. I'll never forget, I'm walking across the field at a batting practice in the fall. He had just gotten there, maybe a month beforehand, after the Giants cut him or released him, I guess is to say. You're all the way up AAA. Man, that's a good long run. And he walked up, introduced himself. He said, "I'm from Conway, and you were when I was little. You were the sports editor of the Conway paper, and my dad and I read what you put in the paper because you put my little league scores in the paper."
How cool!
And then he said, and then when I'm getting out of school to go to baseball practice when I'm in high school, said me and my dad, we had to turn on sports rap and listen to you and Chuck Barrett. And I just kind of melted, and he and I have been, texting back and forth for, all these years. He's just goes, I like that story or whatever. Just flattery will get you everywhere, Matt. Don't ever forget that.
I do forget that sometimes.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean, just be nice to everybody, and that's the kind of guy he is. So I pull for them. And, unless they're playing the Razorbacks, and that's an Arkansas team. I grew up 6 blocks from UALR. They call it Little Rock now, but it's still UALR to me. And you got the Battle of the Trojans. It's the Trojan War. Troy's the Trojans. UALR's the Trojans. Do you know that there are 3 super regionals in the state of Alabama this weekend? That's insane. And Arkansas went 4 out of 5. Let's see, 5 out of 6 against 3 of those teams playing.
So who's the other team? Why am I not?
So it's
Auburn. I got you. I see
Alabama
now.
and Troy are hosting. And Arkansas went 1-0 against UALR. They went 3-0 at Tuscaloosa, and they won 1 out of 3 against. Well, then they beat Auburn in the SEC tournament. So that's another one. So, I mean, Arkansas, you call them the state champs of Alabama if you want to. We sit here and talk about Arkansas as like this is an off year. They won 41 games. They won 20 games against SEC teams. The SEC's held up okay. Then the other team that I'm probably pulling for a little bit, I can never really pull for and say I want the Oklahoma Sooners to win. But I don't want Kansas to win after the way their fans acted. Act like you've been there. Don't throw full cans of beer at the visiting fans. I get this. Arkansas, I guess Kansas State had played there, and Kansas State fans, they'd throw a full can of beer into their section, and the Kansas State fans would throw them back. Arkansas fans drank them. Opened them and drank them.
There you go.
That's what England
keep
does.
Them coming. Just keep them coming.
England in the World Cup, when they score a goal, they take a bath with. They just throw it up in the air and let it shower you with rain. So
don't throw a full unopened can at somebody. It's dangerous.
I'm with
I mean, if you see it coming, you catch it. Well, it's cold. Yeah, I'll take that one. It's not. It's really. I don't really drink. Let's just say. Frio beer, that's probably what the Kansas Jayhawks are
Frio.
drinking. Oh, man. That's 75 cents a can.
Oh.
It's water with a little alcohol shot in it.
With a little floor pepper in it.
Yeah,
I love it.
like
Unit,
that.
I think we got a phone call.
But back to my OU thing.
Okay.
Todd Butler is on their staff and is one of my best friends. So let's just say I'll root for the Fighting Todd Butlers. I won't say I'm rooting for the Sooners.
I can get behind that. Let's go to the phone lines. We got one of our favorites. I didn't see Any tunas in the College World Series Super Regional, but we got a
No
tuna
fish.
right. We got a tuna right here on the line. What's up, tuna?
Well, let me see what I can do. I mean, I'm gonna come with some flattery, Clay. You know that. I'm gonna come with a little bit of
It'll
that.
get you everywhere.
Yeah. It gets you. It does, but you know, I
Hey,
think
what,
for me,
hey, tuna, my dad said you catch a lot more flies with sugar than you do with vinegar.
absolutely, all day. That vinegar, man, that's real bitter, and people remember that. Now, look, guys, I do want to ask this. So, Clay, on that, that was more students though than anything, right? And I don't understand who had the bright idea of putting the Kansas 18 to 20, however old the students are, up there near the Arkansas family. I don't. That part didn't.
Well,
that didn't register. That
It's
didn't make
such a
sense to me.
hey, it's such a crappy place. There's not any options.
Well, there were some seats open according to what Bubba and
No, but I mean,
Phil
let's
was-
just be honest. It doesn't matter.
It's not a very.
You know, it's like,
It's
hey, what are they
definitely not a
doing?
place that
What are they doing at Auburn? They're putting students all around the edge of the bench so they can
they had to
throw
build
stuff.
whatever that was out there in the outfield to even
Their
you know,
backyard.
So maybe maybe they'll
With an
expand on that. It's
outhouse.
definitely look. But I do want to say this about them. I don't think their players are like arrogant or anything, or their coaching staff. I do respect their play. That shortstop, Clay. I don't know what you think about him, LeBlanc, but dude's a stud. I mean, I
Well, I'll tell you
respect
who-
his game.
I tell you who he reminded me of. He's undersized. You know, they're going to downrate him a little bit in the draft because of his size, but he's a Charles Davelin. I mean, you can
There you
load
go.
up your team with him, and yeah, he's you know, when he came to bat, I was like, man, I don't care if there's a runner on first, put him on.
Yeah, hit him.
Put him on.
Yeah, then they had that other kid that got hot too, which hurt us. But
238
look, as
hitter.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Well-
Sometimes too, like
Okay, they
Go
got
ahead.
hot, but if you throw a changeup right down the middle, it's gonna land in.
They're gonna
you know,
crush it.
Yeah, I mean, and so it's on you to hit the corners,
And that-
throw something. You know, their pitchers threw everything except for that last guy.
they dotted the corners up. Yeah.
Well, with spin, with spin.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, you can say, well, I mean, our guys, you know, there was some swing and misses and critical shots, but I mean, I looked at their pitches. That was the kind of pitching we've had the last few years where,
Yep.
you know, like, you know, you have a Hagen Smith that's up there throwing 96, but he's not giving you much of that 96 because you can't hit his slider. And that's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
he-
Good pitching.
and
Yeah, we'll usually win. We scored 10 runs against good pitching. That's enough.
yeah, it is. And look, as far as like, I wanted to get your thoughts on what Dave kind of said because you know, I had touched on this yesterday a little bit with Colton, and Colton, you did make a good point. Look, at the end of the day, we all want to be hosting the trophy, right? But LSU was holding that trophy up last year, and they got dismantled. You know, as far like they didn't get exactly who they wanted, and it hurt them this year. And I don't think there's nobody really left, correct, from Omaha last year. So that's the thing. Like, is there? My thing. I do understand what you're saying, Colton. Of course, you want to win, but I don't think this team was. I mean, they were good. They were a good team, but I don't think this was a championship caliber team. We all can see that. Like, we're not.
Well,
I mean, they had their. Go ahead, Clay.
Yeah.
They had their deficiencies.
So here's what's happened with baseball, college baseball. They've reduced the roster size. I think it's by 10, and so you can't. You got to carry the same number of pitchers, so you've reduced the number of position players. So if you get any injuries in the fall or during the season, you don't have that that top end depth. You don't just regardless if you got NIL money, you just don't have the numbers. And they lost Brenton Clark, who was going to be their leadoff guy. They announced that his shoulder surgery, I believe it was in November, and he had a great summer. He's a red shirt from last year. It was going to be the leadoff man. He was the king on base, best left fielder, best outfielder. Lost him. They thought they were going to get Wiggins back. Did not. He wasn't cleared by his doctor, even though he was throwing 100%. going 96, 97, 98. That's a back end arm. They lost Kuhoi Aloy in the SEC tournament. He had figured it out and was batting about 380 for the last month with big time pop. He probably would have batted clean up from the right side in this tournament. And another one that they thought they were going to have that probably would have been a starting pitcher that they lost after he was undrafted. They had signed him from UALR, Jackson Wells, right-handed pitcher from UALR. They'd signed him. He was already working out 2 weeks, and after he went undrafted, he turned down a big Kansas offer to play for Matt Hobbs, and the Astros gave him $175,000 as an undrafted free agent. And Hobbs is like, they're paying him probably 25 or something. I don't know what it was, but you can't turn that down. And so those are the things that happened to them this year. But by and large, those 8 teams that were in Omaha were 2 to 3 weeks behind everybody else. So, what Arkansas, the portal's open today. They're doing exit meetings this week, and they'll start hosting portal transfers this week. Well, you can't host anybody when you're in Omaha. So during the super regional and the regional, any team that's not there is hosting transfers. And by and large, what happens on a visit with a portal transfer is the first visit he makes and he sees, $50,000. He don't know what somebody's going to offer him in 3 weeks. They can't host him until they're done because they're not on campus. That's who gets them. And Kansas loaded up with transfers. Guess who got 20 portal transfers? Take a guess. On the team that has just dominated this year that's still left. It's the favorite in the tournament.
Probably Georgia.
Georgia, 20. And everybody talks about, the fertile recruiting base in the Atlanta area. Yeah, 7 million, whatever it is. Lots of great baseball there. Their portal guys are not from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Michigan. They're from the West Coast. They're from all over. They're not from the Atlanta area. So they got knocked out early, upset in their own regional, and they spent 2 weeks while Arkansas was playing loading up. Those players are already signed on their first visit, their first NIL offer they took. So that's what Dave's doing now and his coaches. And I think they apparently got a little more money than they did at this time last year.
Clay, I want to keep talking about that baseball stuff, and when we come back, I do want to get your thoughts on whether or not what changes that we might see for this baseball team in the future, if any at all. But we do got to run real quick right here, and before we go, I want to remind you that come baseball season, once again, you'll find all the odds for everything that you want on your Razorback baseball team right there on the Bet Saracen app. It's Arkansas's favorite sports betting app, and for those who like to make a little wager on their favorite sporting event, Bet Saracen is just as close as your cell phone, probably in your hands or in your pocket right now. If you want to follow the odds, favorites, and underdogs, Bet Saracen is where you want to be. They'll have everything on there, including stuff for the World Cup, Women's College World Series going on right now, plenty of props and wagers on the NBA Finals also, and it's the most accurate and up-to-date sports wagering information you can find with the local flair here in Arkansas. So be sure you're on the Bet Saracen app. Download the Bet Saracen app right now by going to the Apple App Store or going to BetSaracen.com and figuring out how to play with the really cool How to Play video. You can also use the sign up and welcome bonus by using the code WELCOME. Deposit at least $25, place that bet, and once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets to play around with and make yourself some money. So use Bet Saracen. It's the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Bet with Bet Saracen.
All right. Well, we'll be back right after this.
Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for, only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
HarryRobinson.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Far from the land of make-believe, don't know to find out what I need. Fields of cherry waves, always the first to float away.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Moving right along here, halftime hypothetical coming up here in a little bit. Christian Johnson on the board, Colton Little with us, Fisherman Clay Henry with us as well. Man, we've just been kind of talking a little baseball. I'm into it. I have no idea. Colton, did you say who you have? If you were to say you're going to pick somebody, who do you think when it's all said and done? I think what Clay say, North Carolina is the best seed still left, but who do you think is actually going to win this thing?
Well, I like what I've seen from the Georgia Bulldogs, what they do in terms of just their pure power to all fields, and a pretty solid complementary pitching staff has probably going to be my favorite going into Omaha. I know they're probably one of the higher seeds left, them and Auburn from the SEC. I'm just looking at the Super Regionals with all the teams that are left. I mean, the math would favor one of these SEC squads to come out on top, which just probably going to leave a little bit of a pit in your stomach knowing there's going to be another SEC school or an SEC school that's done it before capture another championship in the time frame in which that you've yet to attain one, but I'd have to give the nod to Georgia from that regard. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand on that. But I've been dying to talk to you about this a little bit, Clay, because obviously when the baseball season does end, there's always a lot to talk, a lot to chatter, whether it be on social media or here on the radio or, in the papers everywhere, Clay. And sometimes it kind of goes to, okay, we've reached the end of the season, didn't get to the place that you wanted to, and we really didn't scratch the surface too much on this last segment there with the Tuna's call and everything. But Clay, what changes do you see DBH making after this year? I know that they're probably going to try and hit the portal real hard, as you mentioned, and as Dave also alluded to in his post-game presser after all was said and done the other night down there in Lawrence, Kansas. But, Clay, what changes do you see being made? Because obviously at the end of the season, people are always clamoring for coaching staff changes and complete turnover and, basically grabbing their flaming pitchforks and, asking for things to be completely flipped upside down. Just what do you make about the end of this baseball season and where you see things going on in the future?
Well, I don't think there'll be any coaching staff changes.
Yeah.
I mean, they would not be on Dave's end. Sometimes if a head coaching job comes open, you know that they've got guys that would be candidates. Bobby Warnes, I think, will be a head coach.
Absolutely.
And he's the lowest paid guy and could make the biggest jump even at a mid-major. But I think that Matt Hobbs is probably coach in waiting. I don't suspect he's going anywhere, and he's happy. His family loves it here, and Nate Thompson is the same way, very very happy here. He's had chances to take some kind of a job, probably junior college. He has background on the junior college level before he was at Missouri State. Missouri State coach, if he made a move, maybe Nate would get that chance there. But it would be something like that. It's not that Dave's not making changes. Do you know how many coaches he's fired in his career?
Probably very few, I'd have to guess.
It's zero.
Yeah.
It's zero. Not one. Not one time has he fired a coach. And I'm not talking about at Arkansas. I'm talking about zero. And partly he's done a great job of hiring coaches. And you look around, Wes Johnson, Tony Vitello. There have been others that have gone on to be head coach. Todd Butler, became head coach at Wichita State. So I think that they like working for him. He lets them do their job. They just need a better run at recruiting. Going to Omaha, there's a reason why all 8 teams that were in Omaha last year are already out of the tournament after the regionals. I mean, it's hard to load up in the portal, which is the name of the game. I was interested to kind of count how many junior college players Kansas had, and how many junior college players UALR has. 20 at UALR. I'm not sure how many at Kansas. But what you see now, it might be a focus on junior college players, because what's happening is fewer high school players are getting the chance to go to, say, an SEC school straight out for playing time, because they're filling up with juniors and seniors out of the portal. And Dave mentioned you don't play true freshmen, 3 or 4 on your pitching staff, regular pitchers. You don't, you might get them in midweek games and, bring them along like they did Hagen Smith. Even a great arm is not going to pitch on the weekend. Well, how are you going to get innings? How are you going to get at bats? Well, you go to junior college, and that's where you get at bats. And So a lot of players, are turning down walk-on status. And again, I mentioned the roster constriction. The new deal is everybody's on a scholarship, but there's only 35. You split them up. The SEC has decided to not add scholarships. They're just splitting them up. They made a rule, and I think that's hurt the SEC. When you look around the country and other conferences didn't do that. They're using their NIL money a little bit differently. Every school has to decide how they're going to split it up. How much does women's basketball get? And I think women's basketball got a little bit of a push last year. Might not get it this year. I think Dave probably gets what he needs to rebuild. I think he has a little more money, but you might see junior college players be attractive in this round of recruiting. Who had a good finish in junior college. Some of these young, you can take freshmen. They're qualifiers. So who had a good finish their freshman year in junior college, and so as far as the changes, I just think that having a head start on recruiting is the big change, and that's why you don't see a lot of teams just roll back to Omaha the next year. And I think that's been the case for Arkansas, is that they don't do back-to-back Omaha trips. By and large, you have to get lucky too. Injuries, you can't lose, you can't lose frontline players, at the end of the season. I go back to the year when Brady Slavens got hurt and Christian Franklin got strep throat in the, in the Super. Slavens got hurt in the SEC tournament. Aloy got hurt, breaks his hamate bone in the SEC. When you have one of your studs go down late in the season, and then your replacement is a freshman, Christian Turner, who's had 20 at bats, he's not going to roll into Lawrence and rip up their pitching. He got that one home run to win the Ole Miss series, and I that's wonderful. But Rutenbar. Non-conference, he looked like a killer, and then he became a freshman in SEC play, and they usually do, as far as hitters. Just, young hitters cannot recognize slider, and it's the death pitch that you have to adjust to. And you see it looks like a fastball, and then it moves 6 inches at the end, and you look like an idiot. Because you thought it was a fastball and you pulled the trigger and there's no way you're going to hit it, or it's going to be something weak. That's the problem with freshmen, and that's why a junior college pitch hitter that has seen sliders comes in as a sophomore or junior is a viable option, and it's what ULR and Kansas are both winning with.
Clay, and I think that you're right about JUCO being still an option. It's an option, but I feel like this is one of those things that kind of just affirms to me that college baseball is still yet to be infiltrated or affected by some of the money and some of the changes that we've seen in other sports like basketball or baseball. Because I remember getting in guys from I forget what it's called out there. It starts with a Y. Yavapai Community College or San Jacinto Community College, or even places like Crowder or Connor State, places that are closer to here. I remember a handful of those, type of players being littered across the Razorback baseball rosters, as far as I remember. So this is not a foreign concept about going to get guys that are maybe undervalued or weren't seen in all these types of showcases that high school players are playing nowadays. This isn't a new thing for Dave and company to have to navigate going to junior colleges. They've been doing this for a long time. Wasn't Dave a junior college guy himself at one point?
This is coach at Texarkana Community College. Very successful. Yeah, the Seminole, McLennan, all those places. And Dave played junior. He played at McLennan. He only played 1 year at Arkansas because he played 2 years down at Waco. But it's not gonna be just a flood of junior college players like say UALR has done. But it might be a few more, and it's selective. It's not it's not going to be a wave. But yeah, and then you got to get lucky. The high school players that you've signed, they lost a shortstop, and you got to be lucky in the portal. They had a shortstop that signed for very little money, not much more than what he was getting as far as NIL for Arkansas, and he had told Arkansas, I'm coming, and boom. For 3 weeks, he was signed and committed, and then the draft came, and he took very little money. I mean, he was, they were left with, okay, now our shortstop is a true freshman who, Carson Brumbaugh, he just didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
He might be a pitcher going forward. Carson throws 94, 95.
That's like Jalen Brunson. A lot of people aren't talking about that. He took a lot less money for the Knicks.
Right.
Something that won't cost you a lot of money is you go to Bath Makeover of Arkansas. If you're tired of climbing out of that old, outdated tub or cleaning and maintaining the shower, Bath Makeover of Arkansas has the solution. They are a local Arkansas business installing American-made bathtub showers, walk-in tubs, expert installation in as little as 1 day, lifetime product warranty, 5-year workmanship warranty. The other thing that's really cool, if you want to get out, get a little hands-on, see the place for themselves, you can go to one of their showrooms located in Little Rock, Harrison, or El Dorado. They do have a Bath Makeover's price lock guarantee that they can lock your price in for up to a year. That's 1-800-NEW-BATH, 1-800-NEW-BATH.
Shane and Melvin are on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hang on real quick, fellas. We're going to go take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get your questions for Clay about baseball on the other side of this. It's halftime. Stay tuned.
Fired up. Let's go.
What are you fired up about?
Every life, the football, the media, the press, the fans, the world, my wife, my family, my grandkids, everything, you name it.
This is halftime.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
And still Arkansans fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains June 5th through the 11th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail only, some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
This is halftime.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087, 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087 or simply visit TRA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sunday, June 21st is Father's Day, and Jelco Outdoors has hundreds of gifts for those special dads. Special in-store deals on knives by Case, Benchmade, Kershaw, and more. Check out the hunting and fishing clothing on sale. Ariat and Wrangler jeans. Buy one pair, get a second pair 50% off. Buy two pairs, get a third pair free. Give Dad a new rod and reel for summer fishing. And Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your Father's Day gift store. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I love you.
I love you so. I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love the minute you walk out that door. So please don't go away. Please don't go. Don't go. I'm begging you to stay.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right, Casey and the Sunshine Band, please don't go. Let's get it, man. Just moving right along. Was that a Clay Henry selection right there?
Yeah, that's a request. A little sappy here.
I like
my
it.
fishing buddies, Camden Koziel. I call him Cam. I mean, he's just Cam to me. And Nolan Souza, they're my fishing buddies. They're probably going to sign. You know, they draft is coming up July 10 and 11. Cam's in. I think he's rated in the top 150 in this draft. Nolan a little higher than that, but juniors have to go. I can say please don't go, but they got to go. It could be as much as 500,000 difference. You come back for a senior year, and they give you $15,000, and you have no option. That's what you get, and that both of them would probably get a nice NIL chunk. So it's not as bad as it used to be, but you're taking a risk. Nolan's already been through major reconstruction of his shoulder. He just got his power back in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You saw ball start jumping his bat.
So those guys that if they were to stay here and play for another year, they wouldn't get more than 15 large.
Correct.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because they have no leverage. What are they going to do?
I'd still give them both six figures to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, what they get in NIL, that they would get that, maybe. But pitchers are usually the Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday pitchers, the ones that get the big chunk. Yeah, you're going to pay the pitching. And, I think Cam had between 18 and 20 NIL deals.
Wow.
I know of at least two that people called me, and I just referred them to his agent. One of them was Elite Duck Calls. I got a duck call out of that deal.
Nice.
With Cam's personal logo on it. I don't blow it any better than the others I got, but that's the one that's going to be hanging around my neck in the Duckwoods. So, you can say please don't go, but they got to.
Yeah.
So, but there's what do you call it? Melancholy, bittersweet.
Bittersweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple phone callers.
And I'm with the other players like that too, but those two are special to me.
You got something 45 for us, or we want to go to the phones?
I was going to tell us that it's a shame that Cam Koziel has to go, but we got to go too. We got to go to the phone lines. We got two callers on there right now. Melvin called us from Sardis, Arkansas here. All roads lead to Sardis, and Melvin's giving us a call. Melvin, what's on your mind this afternoon, man?
Mr. Clay, I thought Dave's philosophy used to be to recruit nothing but shortstops and convert them to where he needed them, because that was usually the best athlete all the way around through the nation. What changed?
Nothing. There's 6 of them that are shortstops that are on this roster. Kozel played shortstop in high school. Pompey played shortstop at Texas Tech, made a bunch of errors. Mike Anu played shortstop at Marshall. They're all over the field that play shortstop. Guess who played some shortstop in high school? Ryder Helfrich. He can play anywhere. Alexander Peck was top-rated shortstop at Franklin, Tennessee, University High School. There may be 10 that played shortstop last year on this team. That doesn't mean they're an SEC short. Carson Brumbaugh was a shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean they can play SEC shortstop. And
that's what I'm getting at is.
But they had the shortstop that they wanted was in the portal. They gave him what he asked for. Then he signed professional baseball 2 weeks later for almost nothing. Just a fraction more than what he would have got for NIL. And he probably would have got you offer revenue share, and then you can add to it with NIL like Cam did. That guy would have probably made more after he got here. A lot of those NIL deals happen in August and September after you get to campus. People start loading up. Might be a local restaurant with I call them food stamps, coupons, like Wright Barbecue or someplace like that. And, I know Cam did some stuff for Texas Roadhouse, and he was, I'm sure that was a lot of, I get a steak anytime I want it. But no, nothing changed. They just they didn't have it's one thing to have shortstops. It's another thing to have an elite shortstop.
Well, there we go. And ball players, athletes, you're looking for, and Clay,
Yeah.
I'll give you the same thing when you're looking and that's what I was talking about with Arkansas recruiting. When there's a running back that's amazing and he's going to go to BYU to play running back, it's like, you know what? I bet he could play outside linebacker for the
Yep.
Hawk. I bet he can play it. Like get your quarterback, get your people that touch the ball.
Athletes.
And my dad used to have this thing. I don't know if they still do this, but when he coached junior high and high school football, if you wanted to touch the ball in a game, you ran track.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what you did. You didn't get to
I had to
skip
run
out of track.
yeah.
And so you go work on your craft and work on your – if you want to touch the football on offense, then you're going to go run track. And if you don't want to run track, then you can put your hand in the dirt. So there's things that when you're evaluating talent, and that's what I think Silverfield's kind of getting there a little bit.
Woody Jolly, my junior high coach, you ran track, and if you were a back or a linebacker, then you ran, every, it might be the 100, might be the 400, might be the mile, might be the 2 mile, depending on who you were. But if you're a big guy, then you just threw the discus and the shot, but you still worked out every day.
Did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that without question, the same philosophy in football works. That I can remember Steve Spurrier one year. He signed all these running backs. Well, they come to campus and 4 of them lined up at cornerback, just like Fred Talley almost did. It's like who's to me, and Matt, you're the exception to this rule. But the best athlete in the world is the SEC tailback.
I know we've talked about it. I think that the best athlete are tailbacks and cornerbacks. We kind of get on that a little bit and kind of go back and forth.
But they could play the way.
That's true. That's Fred Talley. He was a running back and a quarterback. You're spot on.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Christian Turner this weekend. He's out there playing right field. He was in there in relief for a little bit for Zach Stewart, who moved into the DH spot. And Christian Turner, he's a real athlete out there too. And what I saw him do was a defensive back speed turn in the out, track down a fly ball too. So sport athleticism, you have to have that to be successful. And I think that a lot of coaches see that, but it's often kind of taken for granted at times too.
Matt, where would you play Mbappe, the great goal scorer from France?
Ooh, he might
Do you
be my
tailback
he might be
or
my eye back,
corner?
dot the I with yeah.
and he's gonna make you miss.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of got a little Tyreek Hill. Put him in the slot. You know, you might do things with him, but yes,
He would play, wouldn't he?
He would. You got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
Do we need to go to a break and then come back on the other side and hit the phone line?
We can squeeze Shane
You wanna
in
hit
real
the phone
quick right
line?
here. Yeah, Shane's giving us a call real quick on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can too, 877-377-6963. Shane's got a baseball question for us here, a baseball take. Shane, what's up, my man?
Hey, I don't know the answer to this, and he's a hometown kid to me. We let Colton Reynolds slip away in the fall. I watched him this week win the Golden Glove in the NIA World Series, and why did we let him get away?
I couldn't tell you that. That name doesn't even mean anything to me, and I apologize, but I have to be honest.
Well, I mean, he come from Connors, and he come down and played the fall ball, and they gray shirted him in fall.
Yeah.
And told him he wasn't going to play, so he went to Tennessee and he was a NIL player again of the year, and then gets the Golden Glove this week up there, and we let him get away. And I don't understand why we do that.
He must
When
have
he
had a
hits
bad.
so good.
Only thing I can say, Dave is pretty good at evaluating talent. He must have had a bad fall.
Yeah. Sometimes
that happens.
Yeah, sometimes you miss
Hey,
some, sometimes you don't.
I'll tell you this: it is hard in the fall. Just think about this. You know, who's our best hitter? Led us in hitting, top average. Camden Kojal.
Mm-hmm.
He hit about 100 in the fall, and he did that last year too. And you know, you get into the fall, and pitchers are trying out, and you know, they're trying to get a position, and all at once, you know, they find a hole in your bat, and this is a top end pitching staff, and you've got 4-5 scrimmages to make your mark, and if you don't do it, they got to make a choice. And you know, it's a prediction, and then you get into the spring and you see a totally different player. I mean, Cam was just totally different in the spring than he was in the fall when all he did was make outs.
Well, we've been having a lot of fun here today. This is one of my favorite shows of the week so far. I know it's just Tuesday, but it's still one of my favorite shows. We're going to come back with the little cars, just what you needed.
In my entire adult life, I've never used the expression game face. I have no idea what it means or what you're supposed to do.
This is halftime.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology. Sure, all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. With bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles. Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes.
Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-thrus, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars, it's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
Coming here, wasting all my time. 'Cause when you're standing oh so near.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, and what a fun show today. We got about 45 seconds for the top of the hour break. Christian Johnson on the control, Colton Little with us, Fisherman Clay Henry as well. 877-377-6963. That's the Lewis Automotive Group hotline number. Plenty of fans, plenty of peeps have got in with us on ESPN Arkansas fan feedback. They've called. The phones are working today, so if you want to holler at us, let us know. We'll get in this a little bit more tomorrow. Who's going to be the MVP? Who is the MVP? Did you just say me?
I didn't say me.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought I heard Clay say
somebody else has to.
Okay,
say that.
all right.
I mean, I'll take the award.
Yeah,
but
we'll give it to you.
I
well,
don't
you
have to
are our
be somebody
MVP.
else.
There's no question
Getting
about
the
it.
trophy made right now.
Well, when we're coming back in this
Laser
next
action.
hour, I want to get Clay Henry's thoughts on the NBA Finals, and I want to kind of just get your thoughts on how it's all how has basketball evolved and changed in the last 30, 40 years. And then I want to get your thoughts on your first NBA Finals that you remember, because mine was the first one the Bulls won in 91 against the Lakers, the first one that I was cognizant of and watched. And talk a little basketball coming up. We'll be back right after this.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours hours at urgent care and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
Hey, it's Wendy here. Are you looking to rebound from your high-interest credit card debt? A SoFi personal loan could help. Consolidate your debt with a SoFi personal loan into one low monthly payment, and you could save money on interest over time. And with as soon as the same day funding, you could hit the ground running ASAP. Apply today with no fees required at SoFi.com/debt rebound. Loans originated by SoFi Bank. NA member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debt rebound.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We'll see a clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. And overnight low will dip down close to 60. Wednesday, back to sunshine. A high upper 70s to low 80s. And then Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. A high near 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 95 days.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
From the bottom of my nose to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What they even one Razorback? Vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story's over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right, man, what a fun show today. Got just 58 minutes of this show left, so we'll give you all of our love, all of our time. Let's do it. Christian Johnston on the board, Colton Little with us, Fisherman Clay Henry with us. Let's get into a little NBA, man. You guys know I love some NBA playoffs. The NBA Finals are here tomorrow. If you guys want to get in with us and talk to us a little bit, please give us a shout, send us a text message. Whatever your form of communication is, 877-377-6963. All right, guys. When's the first time that you fell in love with the NBA Finals? When you remember the first time watching a game in the NBA, like that was it. Mine was 1991, watching the Lakers and the Bulls. That's that series right there, kind of getting into it for the first time. I believe I was 8 years old, but that's the first one that I remember watching and just being like, ooh, I love basketball. This is the best sport ever. And you're watching, and then the next year, Jordan does the shrug game because, they beat the Blazers, and the next year they beat the Sonics. And so, yeah, that's when it started. I can tell you every team that won, that won it since then, they, at least in the 90s, but it's like, that's when it kind of started. Christian, when was yours when you first got into it?
So I'm obviously a Mavs fan, and I would have been around 11 years old, which is about the time I started really knowing what the final. I mean, I didn't keep up with it, I guess, too much until about the time the Mavs and the Heat matched up in the finals. That's kind of what got me hooked on the NBA, and then I even think after that, like the Lakers with Kobe and when they played like Colton was talking about, when they played the Magic and the Celtics, and it really was, to me, the finals was something to be. I mean, that was just fun.
Revered.
The revered. They had the logo on the Dave O'Brien logo. Is that what it's called?
Larry O'Brien.
Larry O'Brien.
Yeah.
No, that's his brother though.
There's
That was
somebody
good.
named
Yeah.
Dave O'Brien.
Yeah,
He
of
played
course
quarterback for the Jets.
there is.
But they no longer have that. So, but yeah, I mean, 06, that was heartbreak in 06.
Only if you had money on the Heat, but if not, then yeah. Colton, what was when you got into the NBA a little bit? What's kind of the first one you remember?
The first one I remember was the 2009 finals. It was Dwight Howard and
Yes,
the Orlando
Stan
Magic
Van
with
Gundy,
Stan Van Gundy,
yeah.
Rashard Lewis, walking bucket,
Rashard Lewis.
Hito Turkoglu also that gave the Lakers fits in that series for a little while. Wasn't a very competitive series. Kobe got another championship and a 4-1. Pretty much a pretty easy dispatch of the Magic. But it was the Disney series because obviously Orlando being so close to Disney World and Anaheim out there for Disneyland. So that's one of the things I remember. But the finals that really got me hooked on watching basketball and really enjoying it were probably the ones between probably the ones with the Heat and LeBron and the big three down there against C Money's Mavs and the Spurs. Those always tended to happen right around the time that our school basketball team and lots of other basketball teams from around the state would take an annual pilgrimage down to Searcy, Arkansas for Harding team camp. And so we'd always make it a point coaches would take us out one night to go to the Chili's or the Rib Crib over there in Searcy, and we'd be sure to watch one of the we'd be sure to Ryan's. That's a forgotten restaurant these days. We'd go to one of those restaurants in town and we would watch one of the finals games. So those are the ones that I remember and hold near and dear to my heart. But yes, not quite some of the old school finals that I'm sure that you guys remember, but those were the ones that made me hooked on basketball because they were just the pageantry of everything and having the star players and the star power like the big three that the Heat had and Dirk. It was always really enjoyable to watch.
Clay,
I'm not a New York Knicks fan. This is gonna sound like I am.
That's
but
okay.
I go back to 1970 when I made the basketball team at Little Rock Central, and I thought I was going to be a basketball player. And I pretty much realized that next summer that golf was my sport, and I kind of drifted away from basketball. But 1970, I went back and forth during that 2 weeks of the 1970 playoffs when you had Walt Frazier and Jerry West dueling. 1970 was the Knicks game. Walt Frazier, I think he averaged 36. No, he didn't average 36. He scored 36. My memories. I think he had something like, this is Walt Frazier at 30. This was in the final game when Willis Reed, kind of came out of the tunnel.
Came back out, played a little bit.
And everybody kind of focuses on Willis Reed, and he hit a couple of shots right when he came back out.
36 and 19 is what he had.
And then a bunch 36, 19,
Assists,
and then some assists.
No, it was 19 assists, 7 rebounds, but 36 and 19, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the number. It was something.
But it is called the Willis game. You're right. And he was hurt.
Had
wasn't
a
able to
thigh
play.
strain,
Yeah.
But, it's like all my teammates at Little Rock Central, Fred Allen, who's a sophomore, Danny McDaniel, they all argued over if they were Walt Frazier or the other one was Walt Frazier. It's like when we'd practice spring after the season was over, school was almost done when they're playing. This time of year, yeah. But we were still doing workouts even after the basketball season. We'd come out there and you'd see one of them doing a shot. I said, "What is that?" And then it hit me. That was what they'd seen Walt Frazier do. And now this sounds racist, but I remember Danny one time says, "You can be Jerry West." That was a put down to Jerry West because Frazier had really torn him up. And Jerry West didn't have any bad times, but that was in. I vaguely remember watching some playoff games involving Jim King, who's an Arkansas kid. Matt, where did he go to school?
Jim King, was he a Northside guy?
He was.
Yeah.
Country Jim King. The summer before his freshman year in college, he went to barber school. Went to Oklahoma City and spent 6 weeks and learned how to be a barber because his dad said he needed to have a trade. And, when I got to the Tulsa World in 1978, Jim King was head coach at Tulsa. And I had long hair. I didn't have any money. And, hair could be long back in 1978. And I came into his office and Jim, he's still alive, still sharp as a tick. Called me the other day to complain about the officiating in the playoffs. Thought there was too much, fouling and too much flopping. But he's like, Clay, I know your dad, and he would not approve of your hair. And he got scissors and a cape and put it around my neck and cut my hair in his office, and then swept it up. And he says, that's free. He says, but you're going to have to pay for your next one. And I went to the office, and there's like, man, you got a nice little cut. It wasn't a GI, but it was, instead of it being, down in my neck, it was above my ears.
High and tight, yeah.
He probably took 6 inches off, and he says, now you look good. And he says, now, if you're a black guy, it says I wouldn't have to get the scissors. I can just do it with what do you call it? The
shears.
The shears, yeah. I could shear it, but he cut the hair for his players, and what a neat guy. But I watched him in the NBA playoffs, and he was playing with those great Lakers teams. But hey, the Knicks got him. Who is a big Knicks fan is Chuck Barrett.
Oh, we got one. Colton Little's a big Knicks fan
yeah,
too.
It's me and Zach Orange and Chuck Barrett, us three. We're thick as thieves going to watch the game on Wednesday night together. Yeah.
I get it that the Spurs knocked out, the defending champion and, the team with the best record, those two Razorbacks, Joe and Williams. I get it that it was worth celebrating, but they might have made a little bit too much out of that with the Knicks sitting there being rested. I'm not going to count out the Knicks in this.
That's right.
I agree with you.
right.
But my all-hair team, speaking of haircuts, my favorite haircut is Stephon Castle. If I could have that hair, I would have that hair. He's almost Adam Duritz-esque, like I would go like half Jamaican.
I can see
you pulling that off.
Jimmy Butler.
You want to see some hair. So I'm going to throw this out there and see the best all-time Razorback basketball hair. See if somebody will.
Stephen Hill, my opinion.
Not close. No.
Anthony Black.
No,
that's a good one.
This is on the same level, but he's a lot. He way before you guys were born.
Was he part of the triplets? Is this
Nope.
one of those guys with an afro?
Before that,
okay.
back in the Lanny Van Eman era, and somebody will get this really quick.
Forson.
Pardon?
Courtney Forson.
No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about old school. I'm talking about old school. This would be when I'm in high school, and we get some will text in, and there was a fro, and there weren't too many coaches letting fros, go crazy. But I'd be surprised in this segment we don't get a text with the answer to this trivia question.
We have gotten plenty of text here. Is it Martin Terry? That's one from
Boom.
David from Batesville. David from Batesville was the one that got
Boom.
it for you right
Martin
there.
Terry's fro.
Terry.
Yeah, I mean it was about 18 inches.
Golly, top to bottom, all the way circumference
I mean, just straight
or
out.
height?
Just straight out. Yeah, straight. And, I mean, he was 6'4", but he looked like he's 6'7".
Yeah, that afro will give you a couple extra
And
inches
I mean,
right
but
there.
it pretty much, what you said, Anthony Black. When I saw Anthony Black very first time, I was like, man, that's Martin Terry like.
We're getting lots of texts here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline about everybody's first finals that they remember, and some of these are really, really good. Christian Springdale said he was devastated in 1995 when the Magic with Shaq and Penny and everybody had to go up against the Dream
Dennis
and
Scott,
Kenny the Jet Smith.
Nick Anderson.
Rudy
Yeah.
Tomjanovich and the Rockets got the best of them in that series. A couple other ones, Derek Fisher, 03-04.
They changed the rule. They changed after that one. It has to be like .07 to get a shot off, I think.
Yeah. Graham in Prairie Grove here. He remembers the big matchup with the Bulls in 1993 and Charles Barkley's Suns. Yeah, back in
Kevin
back
Johnson,
then as well.
Dan
Kevin Johnson,
Marley,
yeah.
an Arkansas guy. Oliver Miller was on that team.
The Big O was also there. The Bulls versus Suns, also from Jesse in Springdale. B.E. in Clarksville, he doesn't have an NBA Finals, but he has a 1991 dunk contest that D. Brown won.
Yeah.
Huge closeted Celtics fan, according to B.E. in Clarksville. After that,
Don't
Gavin in
kinda say it.
What about the
Fayetteville.
finals where J.R. Smith forgot how much time was
Don't
on?
funk the dunk when you're
That was
And then
bad.
he did in between the legs, the East Coast funk dunk.
There was Gavin in Fayetteville here. He's trying to win some favor with C Unit here. Said Dirk shot in 2011. It got him. He wasn't a big basketball fan until that very moment. So there's lots of good text coming in here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. What was the first NBA Finals that you remember? We want to hear about that. 877-377-6963. There are some good ones, man. And it basically just like pick any finals in the 90s, and it's just there's some iconic moment that happened back then. So no one's missing anything from there. Absolutely. Well, lots of really good takes.
All right. Well, what we're going to do is take about a little 4-minute siesta so you can kind of maybe rest one eye a little bit, and then we'll come back and another segment, and I'm still looking forward to the halftime hypothetical.
Tune into June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with. I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. You look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey?
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tune into June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Man, what a cool song, and what a cool day. Christian Johnson on the board, Colton Little with us, Fisherman Clay Henry with us as well, including all the fine people. Song reminds me of 2001 Madden.
Oh, good
Kyle
pull,
from
Graham.
Rogers talks about the 08 finals. Yeah, there was NBA finals are here. They'll be here tomorrow. I've been having a lot of fun. We'll continue to talk about that every day. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, Will, I can't wait to watch these Knicks and these Spurs square off, man. I know that I have to keep my expectations very low at the bottom of the floor. If I just expect them to get swept and
That's
they
the
end
Gin
up
Blossoms, right?
Yeah,
If you don't expect too much of me, you won't be let down.
that's exactly right. If I expect them to go in there and get swept, then that's what's probably, and that happens, I can't be too upset about it. One thing is I'm not going to be putting any money on it. I'm not that stupid. I can't afford to do it, first of all, and then also if I'm betting on them and then they also lose and I have to watch the game, I'm just going to be in a bad mood, and my wife's just going to be mad at me for that, and I'll come in here and be in a bad mood and do a bad show. So I can't have that either. So I have to do my best to be as impartial as possible. But it's going to be really hard the minute that Jalen Brunson hits a step back three in Wemby's face, and I'm probably gonna go crazy, probably gonna go berserk. But I think the closer we get to it, the more I think this series is going 7 games.
Ooh,
I really do. The closer we get, the more I start to believe, and belief is
believe in love.
It's a fickle interest.
Those guys, with the whistles, they make them go 7.
Oh, yeah.
They need. The NBA needs that advertising revenue from TV.
The Knicks probably have the more pressure.
4-game sweeps are so rare. Now, of course, the Knicks, what they went through, their side undefeated, didn't they?
They lost. They were down 2-1 to the Hawks, and they rattled off 11 straight wins.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
Rattled off 11 straight wins. Spurs, Knicks.
Well, Clay,
Wednesday night.
do you have a team that you're like who? I don't think I've asked you yet. Knicks or Spurs? What are you thinking? And then, did you watch the game? Where Chet folded like a cheap lawn chair?
Man,
do you think he
disappeared?
He
I don't know.
He went Casper.
When I see something like that, I just wonder if his body just gave out.
Something there's more mental, huh? Because he's a lot better player than that.
Yeah, and when you see these guys that got no muscle structure for their body, he's just a string bean. I thought Wemby gave out in a couple of those games, just didn't have anything, and then he sucked it up for Game 6 and Game 7, and was different. I think I told you guys he had not shown up. They leaned on him with Hartenstein,
17.
He just put his right shoulder right in his chest and moved him off his spot. And then I thought Wemby did a little bit better of just staying active and made it tough for him to do that, and did a little better job of making adjustment and screening for him, getting him off of him. And Holmgren didn't have an answer for Wemby. Wemby wasn't playing like that until Game 6 and Game 7, and I think it's the what I see in these playoffs oftentimes with these really good teams is the adjustments from game to game are incredibly minute, but they're consequential.
Well, what they do, and this is something we talked, Clay, I think a couple of years ago. It's about making somebody uncomfortable, and so nobody could do that to the Joker a couple of years ago. And you're seeing these coaches, man, they make a lot of money too. And the first player I remember, this would be another good question. The first player that I remember that it was like if he got to his spot, free throw line extended, it was a bucket. That was Paul Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
He could get to that free throw line anywhere. Dirk had the same thing unit. I know you saw that.
Bernard King.
Yeah, and Larry Bird could just hit it from everywhere. Steph Curry could hit it from. But there's certain players, they get to their spot. Man, you better just count it on the board. And that's what these coaches do. They know, hey, there's a scouting report that comes out. Hey, we know these are what he likes to do. 80% of his, and there's another one. Tiger Woods, over 50% of his tournaments he won were on the same 5 golf courses. Because it's the whole concept is these athletes can do 1 or 2 things really well. Can they do 3 or 4 things really well? And you
horses for horses.
You have to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, one of the things that I kind of noticed a little bit, like story within the story, and Julian Champagne, is that how you say his name?
Champagne?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Mike Anderson guy.
Oh, how cool is that?
St. John's. Yeah. I mean, he hit like six the other night, and
6 for 10 from behind the 3-point line.
That's the game. And I thought the Spurs really were effective as the thing went on. You said it, spots, and I think SGA definitely has a spot, the elbow, where they had Wemby waiting for him at the elbow. He had to go somewhere else, and he could get it. He could get his shot over any guard or forward you want to put on it. But a 7'5" arm, that's tough to get over. And I thought, he didn't necessarily block him. He just was waiting for him when he got to that elbow, and he had to go somewhere else. And he just wasn't quite as effective in those last 2 games.
Matt, one thing about this finals that I'm also kind of looking forward to is you got, obviously, like Clay mentioned there, great shooters in Champagne or Champagne.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
I know.
Julian. Great players in Julian Champagne, and obviously great shooters like that. Harrison Barnes also. They have the top 4 players in the NBA right now in corner 3-point percentage. 2 of them for the Knicks and 2 of them for the Spurs. So like a battle for getting to that position that you're talking about, Matt, like where focused on as well as how many corner threes is each team able to take, because for the Knicks it's Michael Bridges and Anunoby, and then for Harrison Barnes and Champagne. For the Spurs, it's the 4 of the best 3-point percentage guys in the corner in the entire NBA.
Yeah, that corner shot. What's it, about 6 inches closer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
corner 3.
Corner 3.
Well, and it's floor spacing. You're trying to kind of move the way the ball goes so you can get it in your spot. But it's one of the easiest shots in all of basketball, and there's a lot of people making a lot of money just being able to have a 7 wingspan, and you just run down. If you can run down in that spot and let the guard, let whoever your guy is do whatever he I mean, how many threes do we see the Fort Smith Jalen Williams taking all the time? Because he's a tall guy that can play defense, and it's like, man, I need you to shoot 1,000 3-pointers a day, and you can play in the NBA for the next 10 years. And that's what a way to you're blessed that way. What a great way to live life.
Isaiah Joe and Jay Will, they're about to get, they say J Dub in Oklahoma City to differentiate the other. Hey, that's a big part of what happened to the Thunder is the other Jalen Williams just wasn't right this year. He started off, on the injured reserve after surgery. He just never was like he was last year, in the playoffs. They missed that guy, and they had a lot of depth, and they survived. But when it get down to the best against the best, that guy was. Northside guys get paid.
I don't know if they've re-upped, though. It seems like they both took a little re-up deal like 2 years ago, something that was kind of fan-friendly, not team-friendly. I Isaiah Joe, and I love to do comps. I love to say, hey, I think this guy can. Malik Thomas, and it reminds me of Isaiah Joe, and I think Isaiah Joe's a guy that could start. For a quarter of the teams. I don't think Isaiah Joe's a guy that's going to start on a team and they're going to win a championship, but he can be a role player, what he's doing. And so you kind of come into this mindset, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go make money? And everybody's like, yes. Do you want to make half money and win a championship being the 8th player on the bench? No. People don't want to do that. They want to go compete and show what they can do.
Well, I think if he doesn't have a ring.
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
If he doesn't have a ring, well, then you say, I'll go where I can win. He got a ring. I talked to Darrell Walker about that one time. He's like, once in Corliss, they both have rings. Mm-hmm. Once you have a ring, it makes it easy to say, I take that $30 million.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. We'll
that's
take a
$90
little bit
million.
less. Yeah.
With Isaiah Joe, too, the Thunder, they kind of have they're in a sort of a difficult spot with him. They have to extend guys like the other Jalen Williams, like J-Dub, and they also have to figure out ways. I think he's their second best. Yeah, they have to get him. They have to, but they're also trying to protect guys like Chet Holmgren as well, and the huge contracts they're going to have. So Isaiah Joe could be one of those pieces that, Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder organization have done such a good job with by getting lots of capital back for them. I could see Isaiah Joe being one of those guys that ends up being a pretty big piece to be moved away from that Oklahoma City core to, get them retooled for their next championship run, which is unfortunate to have to split up those two Northside guys. But a guy like Isaiah Joe, Matt, like you've said, and I think Cecil echoed it earlier today when he gave us a call, just a pure sniper. There's always going to be room for a guy like that in the league. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those two and their careers end up as well. And like you said, they already have championship rings to their name and streets in their hometown of Fort Smith, Arkansas. So very cool. Very, very cool for those guys. Uh-oh. Millie's there. Squirrel? Postman? What is it,
I
Clay?
would think it's probably Amazon driver.
Oh. Is this your Amazon order, Clay, or is this did Gene Ann get this?
Hey, we're gonna.
I'm not answering that.
Okay, we're gonna go to a break
Don't
because
incriminate
we're gonna
yourself.
come back and we got us 4 doing this halftime hypothetical, and maybe there's a caller that wants to get in with us once you figure out the rules or whatever we change the rules to. And then we'll come back. You got something 45 to tell us?
Yes, real quick before we go, the halftime weekly lineup that we have brought to you every week is brought to you by our good friends at Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville. Whether you're popping the question, celebrating an anniversary, or just looking for something special for that special someone, Swift's is the place to go. Located right on Block Avenue next to Hugo's, they've been a trusted name since 1956, specializing in custom jewelry and engagement rings. Swift's Jewelry is designed to be just as unique as your own personal story. They also offer expert watch repair, too, to keep you on time. So stop by and see them today in person or visit swiftsjewelry.com to learn more. It's Swift's Jewelry, celebrating life's biggest moments.
Woo! All right, Unit.
What's up, guys? Huge fan. I love the show. I listen all the time.
This is halftime. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lutz boxes set a high standard for luxury. With the iconic $5 box, the decadent $7 box, or the extravagant $9 box. And when you experience the opulence of crunching into the grilled cheese tortilla shell of the shredded beef dippy taco in the $9 box, You may even let the Lutz go to your head. Get your $5, $7, or $9 Lutz box today. Only at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezers and specialty drinks not included. Tats extra.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brands and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cake-ify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I will show you around. I love it. Bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Tune in to June with Lewis Automotive for your next ride, where you'll get top trade values and massive savings. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for 80 years strong. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Chicago, huh? Someone's going to Chicago. How cool is
Old
that?
Blue Eyes. So
the
good.
Best steak I ever had was at Smith and Orlinski's in Chicago.
Ooh,
and so if you get there, they had these garlic bulbs. It was everything about it was amazing. But Chris on the board, Colton Little with us, Clay Henry with us as well. You got something 45?
I do. For our halftime hypotheticals today, it's a hypothetical scenario. The boys here will play it out for you. Your calls, your texts are encouraged here on this halftime hypotheticals. All right, fellas, we do require a little bit of imagination here, a little bit of creativity. It's not necessarily sports-centric. It is SEC and sports adjacent here. With basketball over now, with baseball over now, Razorbacks, the next sport up on the docket is football. So while we're not exactly talking about the Razorback football team in per se, we are talking about the coach, Ryan Silverfield, as well as the rest of the SEC coaches. So I'd like you to imagine this scenario. Every single one of these SEC coaches, all the SEC football coaches, are on a plane, a charter plane. They're going down to a big meeting. You know, they have to have those every now and then, get together, shake hands, go over the rules, complain,
Is
do
this like
all
Almost
this stuff.
Famous where we're trying to figure out which one likes the other?
Not quite like that.
Sorry.
No love triangles here. Nothing.
All right.
Nothing in the Almost Famous vein. But this is more of like the Lost or Castaway vein. So this plane goes down. It's a waterborne crash. The all of the crew of the plane were able to also, get away as well, but they have different accommodations in this scenario. It's a waterborne crash, so all the rafts were able to be deployed, and all 16 SEC coaches survive, but they are washed up and shipwrecked on an island. My question for you in the halftime hypothetical: which coach is the first to succumb to natural elements? Which coach is the last man standing? And which coach do the other coaches get tired of and, tell them to kick rocks and go fend for themselves? That's your halftime hype.
Off the island.
Off the island, which one, Clay? Who do you say?
Man, I don't know. I was the whole time you were talking, I was just trying to think of how can I change the rules.
Of course.
Well, who's the head coach at Kentucky right now?
That's Will Stein.
It's a new coach then.
Former Oregon offensive
I was
coordinator.
gonna say if it was still last year's coach,
Mark Stoops.
That would have been my answer. So he can't be. If we could change the rules to last year, but it's not. So I'm not going to put him in yet. But Mark Stoops was kind of a baby. He kind of complained a lot and cried a lot. Is Candor? He's not on this. He's not on this plane.
Who?
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure that the person is on this plane. We got
maybe Drinkowitz. Maybe.
So
because I like.
No, it'd be Kiffin. They don't kick
there
him
you
off.
go.
So Kiff's kicked off according to Clay. Matt says Eli Drinkowitz. I say that they kick out Shane Beamer because he is the most entitled,
that's a good
whiny.
one.
He's one of my
Yeah, but
least
see what we
favorites.
don't know, and this is why knowing the rules is really important and having a scouting report. Like who's the best at survival? There will be some, that can go, bring back monkey meat or something. Who can, who's good at making a spear and
who can start a fire with just a stone and maybe a piece of glass.
Yeah, and I mean, it just I just can't help but think of Tom Hanks in Castaway, and it's like you definitely would want
That's John
that kind of a
Summerall.
guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
know,
Big
like-
C.
like
That's what I thought.
Brett Bielema's in the Big Ten, so that he's not. I just don't think he would do well in that setting, because I mean he's too quick to throw a barb, and they're like, okay, you got 15 other guys that are controlling your fate. It's like
It's teamwork.
We're strapping you to a log and pushing you out. It's like
No, Sarkisian. That's my pick. Sorry,
Sarkisian,
I'm not
that's a
taking
good-
Drinkowitz. I'm taking Sarkisian.
I'm kicking off
there,
Shane Beamer.
there we go.
You think they're gone?
Okay.
I think Shark should
All
be
right.
fed to the
See,
Sharks.
Beamer's, he's South Carolina. He's probably knows something about the ocean, and what's
Marine biology, through
Yeah.
transference. Yeah, he knows a
Always
little bit about
wanted to
that.
be
might keep him, and it's like, did either one of y'all watch Jimmy Johnson in Survivor?
I read his book, and he said what he wanted to be a contestant on was
He
Naked
got-
and Afraid. But so he was on Survivor, though.
He was on Survivor.
Yeah.
No, he won't be naked and afraid.
Or afraid, yeah.
I think he was thinking of
just
his
to think
19-year-old
that
self,
he
yeah.
didn't have any product for his hair. I mean, just think
Oh.
about how miserable that would have been.
I just don't want to be
He
around you
finally-
if you're not taking a
he-
shower.
He's he's a head coach, and and all these guys at first there were some of them didn't know who he was, but they figured it out. He probably told them, okay, they have teams, and he starts giving orders, and they're like, hey, we're not your team. And it didn't go well from what I read in the book, and he finally is like, okay, I raised my hand, I'm out. But he did it, and I mean, lost a bunch of weight, and took him a little while to, and I mean, almost always, you don't have any antibiotic, and you eat something that's probably not good for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Montezuma's Revenge.
Hey,
or
I'm
something.
going a couple of weeks for like 10 or 12 days in Montana, and kind of camping and stuff. I got my little care package from my doc today. Stuff that will prevent some things. That if I, get in a tick infestation, or poison ivy. If I hike down a, but those are some things that you may not have those skills. And if somebody has those skills, you may think that's a guy you don't want, but all at once his value increases.
All right, so we've got some we've got some text coming in here as well. We'll get to those. So the first person voted off, Matt chooses Steve Sarkisian, or did
Yes,
you choose him to
nope,
succumb to
nope.
natural elements?
Yeah,
Okay,
Sarkisian's gone.
So you're voting off Steve Sarkisian. I'm voting off Shane Beamer. Clay, did you make a definitive answer? Kiffin, Christian, who did you say that you're voting off that you don't want to deal with? You're just telling them to fend for themselves.
Beamer would have been my choice. I guess I will go with Alex Golish.
That's a good choice. I don't think I want to hear him either. He's pretty high and mighty on himself either. So those are the ones that we kick off. Okay, who is succumbing to natural elements first? Who's eating poison berries? Who's being eaten by a shark? Who's stepping into quicksand? For me, this is an easy choice. That's Eli Drinkwitz.
Oh.
He's going to try and take charge, and he's going to end up falling on his face, into poison vines, something like that. That's who I think would be the first to succumb to natural elements.
That's Josh Heupel for me.
Yeah.
See, and that's also I had to think about some of the coaches that maybe take second or thirds at dinner time. They'll be starving there on the
Mike
island.
Elko might be one of those guys.
No, see, you guys are thinking about this backwards.
Oh, you think about storing all they've already got stuff stored up, Clay.
I mean, Heupel has got he's got the fat.
He's got
he can
7.
go
He can
3
live
weeks
7
without
days
eating.
on that right there. Yeah.
I mean, as long as he can figure out,
Get a
the
little
ones
water.
that the stupidity gets you. Sometimes they say, there's an ocean there. I drink that one. No, the salt water will kill you.
That's right. You got to boil it first.
Yeah. So
sterilize it.
As long as you can get water, a fat guy can go a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's you might look like a refugee before it's all over, but so Josh Heupel might have some staying power because he's got a bunch of baggage on his hips.
Extra gas in the tank, if you
Yeah.
will, to get him through that. So, all right, I'm gonna take Eli Drinkwitz as the first to succumb to natural elements. Christian, who do you have?
That'd be Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel as well. Matt, who did you choose?
Oh, I'm kind of cross between Mike Elko. I'm a Mike Elko fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of cross between Mike Elko and Shane Beamer on that one because I think Shane Beamer might try to act like he knows what a berry is. He might be like, "Look, I promise this is good and you can eat it. Watch," and then he would eat it and so.
I could also see Shane Beamer trying to fashion his own raft. And
Yeah,
then
it's like
Elko is bigger than Heupel.
I
forgot
know.
about that.
I like Mike Elko.
Clay, who did you make as your final choice here? The first to succumb.
I'm switching to the fat man at Texas A&M.
All right, Mike Elko for Clay. Okay, and who's the last man standing? When they're finally rescued and there's just nobody left in the SEC, everybody's scrambling to try and replace their head coaches. There is one left who gets to come back and coach. Who do you say, Christian?
Clark Lee is the last one.
Clark Lee from Vanderbilt. That's a good choice. That bald head can be used to signal ships just in passing.
I'd ask you this question real quick. How many coaches that are coaching in the SEC has won a national championship? There's only one, and I'm going to take that one as the man standing on the top of the mountain.
The man standing at the top of the mountain.
I'll take Kirby Smart. He's the only one that's won a national championship as a head coach in this group.
He's a winner, knows what it
who
takes.
I'm taking.
Matt takes Kirby Smart. Clay, who do you take as the last man standing?
I'm going with Matt.
Yeah,
I think
Kirby Smart. I'm going to go off the wall here. I feel like John Summerall is quite literally insane.
He's ready to
and
go.
he might just like
you might be right.
He might be able to.
Well,
he might be pushing people off the cliff.
What's the old saying? Youth will be served.
Mm-hmm.
True. It's like, hey, might be that it's done less damage to his body. Don't know. I mean, and who there may be some of these guys. I mean, in Sark, he'd be pretty bad shape if there's no alcohol down there.
That's true.
He's already gone though. We don't have to worry.
But he
about
doesn't
it.
have to. But he doesn't have to line up and run a 4th and 3 play. He can't do that either. You can't
I apologize.
No, that's okay.
That was funny.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, Clay, he'll just come at you, and then he won't, back up his talk like he did.
Well,
with
he
Texas
said
Tech.
Arkansas fans, they
can't
hate
find
Texas more than they like themselves, and
It's
I
true.
wanted to say I'll slap you in the face.
So far back in the rural Arkansas woods, he's not.
That's right. He'd have to make it past the driveway first with these, weapons.
There's players for him to buy here.
All right, that's your halftime hypothetical. That was a fun one. I like to be creative. It was a good
Didn't
one.
change
I
the rules
appreciate
either.
that. You didn't, Clay. I appreciate that. That means it was a decent game this time around.
Can we do this one tomorrow?
Yeah.
All-time starting 5 NBA Finals.
Oh.
Guys, they have to have played in an NBA Finals or they can't be on your list. But we'll do our all-time
good.
5 team, and maybe we can get Clay on that segment while
I'm
he's
going
driving.
I'm going to start with Lou Alcindor.
And I'm going to start with Larry Bird. And then you can't take somebody else's player. So
That's
we're
right.
going to have 20 total players on this. But that's what we'll do tomorrow. If you want to, if I can, or hey, we can do double halftime.
Yeah, we got all the time in the
All right.
world. And you know what we might do? We might let Christian pick first because I feel like what he would do is he would do the Inside the NBA all-time draft where Charles
muggle
Barkley
shot.
was up first,
Oh,
and
he
he
picked
goes, I want Allen Iverson. That's what I want to see from Big C tomorrow. So, oh man, that would be a lot of fun. Hey, I want to talk to you real quick before we take off here about Roback. Hey, if you need Razorback Closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection, that's what you're looking for. They have it at Roback. It's only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polo Roback.com, RHOBACK. That's RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26. That's RUSH26, and you get 20% off of your first order. RUSH26 for 20% off. Only at Roback.com and the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Woo! Great. Well, you guys been knowing me today.
This is halftime.
Pitmasters, Grill Masters, Backyard Barbecue Legends. Old Town Van Buren wants you. The second annual Old Town Smoking Kansas City Cook-Off is firing up in historic downtown Van Buren on Saturday, June 27th. If you think your ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken can take the crown, bring your secret rub, signature smoke, and championship flavor and compete in this KCBS-style cook-off on Main Street. Judges are ready and bragging rights are on the line. So register your team now at OldTownVanBuren.com.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
When the heat turns up, your equipment can't afford to slow down. At Sharp Equipment, we keep you working with quality parts, quick repairs, and a team that knows how to get you back up and running. Whether you're tackling land, lifting loads, or repairing what broke in the field, we've got your back. Visit Sharp Equipment at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give us a call at 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, keeping your world moving, less downtime, more done.
We have a simple formula at Shelter Insurance. Provide personalized coverage at great rates with local agents to help you choose the coverage you need. And if the unexpected happens, fulfill our promise to be there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BUDGET to borrow up to $10,000.
Don't spend another summer wrestling with an old mower. Upgrade to a Hustler from WT Equipment and mow with confidence. For a limited time, get 0% financing for up to 48 months on select Hustler models. With commercial-grade performance, legendary durability, and warranties ranging from 3 to 5 years, there's never been a better time to buy. Stop by WT Equipment in Springdale, Rogers, Berryville, or Searcy, or you can visit them online. WTEquip.com today.
Down on the West Coast, they got a saying, if you're not drinking, then you're not playing. But you got the music, you got the music in you. Don't you? Down on the West Coast, I get this feeling like it all could happen That's why I'm leaving you for the moment. You for the moment, boy blue. Yeah.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right. Man, what a show today. I guess we get to do this again tomorrow, huh, fellas?
Sure do. We get to. It's so fun.
What are you guys doing? Clay, you already packed up. What do you got to do? What's on the docket the rest of the day?
You know what? I'm doing they got the mower out of the garage, so I'm going to go get tires rotated for my trip. And
Just
got
regular
the oil
stuff.
change
Yeah,
this
get ready.
morning.
Yeah.
I'm done. I mean, hey, this is one of those deals where you just, pack up clean shorts and
just
clean
take off.
underwear. Make sure you have plenty of clean socks. I mean, here's my worst ever travel trip. This guy's one of my favorite people. Mike Vaccaro, who was a sports editor at the Northwest Arkansas Times, he's now the lead columnist at the New York Post. He's been in New York for 20 years, and he is a great, great writer. Me, Dudley, and Mike loaded up to go to the SEC basketball tournament that was being played at Rupp. That had to be, 95, 96, I don't know, somewhere in the 90s. And we were in Dudley's minivan. And I'm riding shotgun, and Mike's in the back seat, and we're coming home. We're going down I-44, probably around Lebanon, and Mike put his feet up on the headrest behind my head, and he had on socks that he had worn for the whole trip. And so it's been one of my it just burned into my mind.
And your
make sure
Yeah.
you have
Smelly
5,
socks,
6,
smelly
7
cat.
pair of socks for a 4-day trip, double the amount of socks. And I was just like, he had his shoes off, and I'm looking over at Dudley, and Dudley started laughing, and I said, Dudley, do you need to get your air filter in your van, minivan, the air filter.
Cabin filter, man. That's bad.
Yeah, you need to have it changed, and I was like thinking it was Dudley, and he started laughing. He goes, look over your shoulder, and I went, oh. So, I'm a great travel companion because I have lots of clean stuff, and I'm not, of course I'm going with my daughter. But it's like, make sure you have plenty. That's a go-to when I travel, is to have double the amount of socks. And I'll even maybe go to Walmart and buy, one of those little packages with 10 pair.
Just for the trip. They're just trip socks.
Yeah.
They're no question. No, I'd
Just
be
keep
like,
pulling
take
out
me.
two fresh
Is
ones.
there an
Just-
enterprise over here? Take me there. I have $300 for
Yeah,
a rental
but I
car,
mean-
and I'll never do a trip.
And
with
I
you
mean,
again.
I made him switch sides, and then finally I made him. It's a triple row. I made him go to the back row.
Yeah.
Never again. We
Never.
wouldn't be on the trip again.
But he didn't have any other socks.
Oh.
And you can take the socks off. I mean, now what you do is you pull over and you get dude wipes and make him wash.
What a
Did y'all
way-
need to hear
that's
that?
the only way
Did
to
y'all
end
need
this
to hear
show
that?
today.
That's a good
I hope
tip.
everybody takes a dude wipe and takes themselves a wash, and then
A
you have
wash.
just a
I mean,
wash.
Matt and I are both clean freaks.
That's
right.
exactly right. Hey, we had a great time, Clay. I hope you have a great time on your trip.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking.
Well, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
We'll
We'll
talk-
do a little. We'll do a little traveling show tomorrow.
Sounds good.
See you around.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Cofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Cofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Active wake surf